Number 14, Michaela Robinson. And on the bench, Sally Colquist, uniform number 1. Number 7, Karen Dale. Number 17.
Good evening from beautiful South Australia. This is why we play sport. For days like today, it is the 2018 Softball SA City Competition Grand Final between two worthy opponents. They've been the best all year. It's the Walkerville Cats and the minor premier West Torrens Eagles. Eric Ballnar here bringing you the coverage alongside James Harris. James, how excited are you for today?
Massive game, great way to end the year. The minor premiers, the West Torrens Eagles, the team that went through first in the major semi-final, Walkerville Cats. Between the two sides, they've lost a game each in 2018. It's going to be huge.
And what I'm excited for is I love a good pitcher's duel, and that's what we could see tonight.
Massive pitcher's duel. We've got the young gun, Maddie Scott, the local player, South Australian under-19 representative versus the US import, Gabby Snyder.
Yeah, and I had a great opportunity to catch up with them before the game, so let's hear what they had to say. I'm here with 17-year-old Aussie starting pitcher, a local girl, Madison Scott. You're getting a start in the grand final. The Eagles missed the finals last year and this year on the backs of their new ace, Maddie Scott. They're here. Maddie, from a rookie season last year to really shouldering the loads on all the innings this year, what's been the difference between rookie Maddie Scott and this year's 17-year-old Maddie Scott?
I believe I've trained really hard over the off season and beginning of the season with state and all that, and my dad has worked me so hard. I believe that I've just gotten better, and having my team behind me has made it easier. I feel confident.
And tell me a little bit about this team, because you can make a whole state team out of this infield. They're unbelievable. They're some of the best defenders in the game. What's it like pitching knowing that you have those girls behind you?
It's a real,
like, what do you feel behind them? Are they do you feel confident when you're pitching out there and there's a ground ball and they're going to scoop it up?
Yeah, I do. It's a great bunch of girls, and it's just a weight lifted off of my back, knowing that they'll have my back.
And tell me about your pitching style. What kind of pitches would you throw in a softball game that we're about to see on TV tonight?
Probably mainly fastballs, a couple of change-ups, rise, drop, a bit of everything.
And Maddie, one more question here. What would it mean tonight if West Torrens could take home a championship?
The world.
The world. Well, Maddie Scott, she's going to be on the mound tonight. We really look forward to watching her pitch. Maddie, best of luck.
Thank you.
I'm with Walkerville starting pitcher and slugger, Gabby Snyder. It's been a fantastic season for her and for all of the Walkerville Cats. Gabby, an import coming over from America and playing here in Australia. Gabby, what has this experience been like for you so far?
Oh, the experience has been great. Just everybody has been so welcoming and so nice, and to get to play the sport you love across the ocean is great.
So Walkerville have been so close the last couple years, right near the top of the table, and they've fallen just short. Have they told you a lot about what it would mean to the club if you come in here and helping to try to win this championship?
Yeah, they told me it would mean so much just since it's been a while since they won a premiership, and since they were so close that winning this would be great for them.
And what's the softball community like here in South Australia, and what was it sort of versus your expectations?
I think the softball community is great. Everybody is friendly and nice to each other despite being on separate teams, and it's been really great.
Now, Gabby, you've had an absolutely fantastic season. You're striking everybody out. You're coming up with some clutch hits here. But tell me about this Walkerville Cats team, because it's more than just one person.
Right. No, the team is great. We all stick to our strengths and work together as a cohesive unit, and I think if we do that today, we'll do well.
Yeah, and so for the Cats, building on that there, for the Cats to win tonight, what is that one key thing you guys need to do?
We need to just stay calm and stick to our own individual strengths. I think that's really the key for us tonight.
So that's the message from Gabby Snyder. Stay calm, stay cool, stay collected. Gabby, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Some absolutely great insights into the two starting pitchers for tonight's grand final. We're now joined by Lee Hull. Welcome, Lee, to the telecast.
Thank you, James, and thank you, Eric. What a beautiful night it is. It's turned out to be. No wind, no rain, no cold. It's going to be fantastic, and what a great game we have here tonight.
I just want to say a special thank you to our broadcast partners, Spacequake Sports and Channel 44. We're making history here tonight. We are live on free-to-air TV. So thank you very much to our broadcast partners and to everyone watching at home. You're in for a cracker of a game tonight. The West Torrens Eagles versus the Walkerville Cats. Now, gentlemen, some absolute star-studded lineups on both sides of the diamond tonight. You've got a couple of stars players in each team. You've got some international players. You've got the youth that are coming through for this competition as well. Who are the standouts for you two?
Well, I'll start here, and I'm just saying I'm looking forward to a big matchup between the two Australian players that you just mentioned. You got Chelsea Robinson on Walkerville, and she has just been booming in the second half of the season. It's probably why they only have one loss. And then Jordan Lambert on West Torrens. Man, she's a fun player to watch. You'll see her lead off today. She's small, but man, she can hit. She's quick on the base pass and always lethal every time she's in the game.
Yes, and I see a couple of other players that'll play an important role, and that's Lana Kaiser, who had a ripper game, probably her best game for the season on Wednesday evening. And also on the other side of things, Desi Giamarellis. Not to be underestimated, Desi. She's been around a long time. She has the knowledge, she has the skill, she puts them together, and she holds down the shortstop position like Jordan does for the West Torrens
Now,
Eagles.
James, I'm curious from you here because we got a lot of new viewers maybe out here tonight. Why should people be so excited to watch this grand final spectacle here tonight?
This is the biggest game on the softball calendar for South Australian softball. It is the two best teams of the season. It is the grand final. We are live on TV, as mentioned, but the talent on display tonight, you're going to see some world-class players.
And what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the overall result. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think there's going to be plenty of great defensive plays. The offense is going to be very important as well. You've got speed on both sides of the diamond as well. It makes for an epic competition.
Yes, and I think I've predicted it's going to go to 3 tiebreakers. So that's a rather outlandish prediction. Have been known for the odd 1 or 2 before, and I'm sticking by it. It's going to be a cracker of a game.
The other interesting aspect to this game is going to be the coaching duel. You've got Dave Gooley. They've lost 3 games for the season in the minor round. They went down in the major semi-final, but that won't faze them. They went down by 1 run. Dave Gooley likes to make moves. The other side, Softball Australia Hall of Famer Sue Tomlinson. She's got Olympic experience. She's been around the game for 40-odd years of her life. She knows every play in the book.
And I think you're absolutely right. There's really not much between these two teams. Both teams, only 1 loss in 2018, and both of the losses were to each other. And you look at that early finals matchup they had in that game to qualify for this championship game, and it was just one little tiny mistake that West Torrens made that cost them the game, and but they're both here now in the end. But that's how small of a difference that games like this between the two best can be.
Certainly is, and I just reiterate what you said, James, about the 2 coaches. What Sue Tomlinson and David Gooley don't know about softball is not worth knowing. They are excellent coaches, and that's why they're here now.
So impact players is what we're going to be looking for tonight. We're going to see Lambert and Kaisler and Nucky and Allen. The lineup just keeps going through. Defensively as well, they've got Burridge and Scott for West Torrens. On Walkerville side of the coin, you've got Snyder and Robinson, Giamarellis. You've got young guns like Roberts as well, and Hayley Benithan, the hard luck story of this season. She's missed the entire final season so far due to an injury. She's cleared it up though. We may see her in the game.
And we'll get to all those lineups and more, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the greatest spectacle in South Australian softball.
We are live on free-to-air TV on Channel 44, Softball SA, Adelaide A-grade women's grand final. The West Torrens Eagles versus Walkerville Cats. James Harris alongside me, Eric Bolner. Welcome, Eric. And of course, Lee Hull. Now, gentlemen, we're going to get to it in just a moment. The action is just 5 minutes away. Let's go through the lineups and we'll talk about some key players. First of all, let's talk about the pitchers.
Yeah, well, the pitchers tonight, it's a great pitchers duel. You've got, she might be the MVP favorite in this, just how dominant she's been all season since her arrival. The import, Gabby Snyder, there's a look at her right there. Look how calm, cool, and relaxed she is. And when I was talking to her earlier, you saw it on the interview. That's exactly what she is. She's a cool customer. She can do it with the bat, but man, she's killer this year. She's pitched 105 innings. She's got 15 wins and 2 losses, an ERA of under 1. It's amazing. And there's Maddie Scott. We heard from her as well. She, cool customer as well. Just 17 years old and a 1.58 ERA. A fantastic season from her. She pitched all but 4.23 innings this season. James, I would love to go through the lineups too, and so to do that, we're going to bring in Lee Hull with our statewide super special comments tonight. Lee, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Can you take us through the defensive lineup here of the teams?
Yes, I certainly can, Eric, and good evening everybody, and good evening to James as well. Lovely to be with the three. It's the A3 team tonight. 3 of us on doing the commentary, and that's fantastic. I'll go through the Walkerville defensive side of things first up. On first base, it's Alana Dales. Second base, Sophie King. Third base, Sophie Roberts. And at shortstop, Desi Giamarellis. The outfield from left to right, Bianca Ramsey, Michaela Robinson, and Erin Reid. The battery, Gabby Snyder, the Chelsea Robinson. We have 5 bench sitters. They are Sally Colquist, Karen Dale, Ellie Georgiaris, Riley Moore, and the injured Hayley Benithan. I don't think Hayley will be coming out somehow.
No, I don't think so. Thanks, Lee. But James, when you hear that, that's a pretty good defensive lineup, isn't it?
Yeah, Hayley Benithan, let's just touch on her quickly. Unluckily, she's injured herself in the final minor round game of the year. She has been an absolute star in her first year of senior competition. So we wish Hayley Benithan well in a speedy recovery and hope to see her back next season.
Yeah, fantastic. That's how they look defensively. Lee, we'll bring you back in here. Lee, can you tell us what the batting lineup is for West Torrens? We will see them bat first. West Torrens, they were the minor premiers, but they lost in the first round of the playoffs, so they become the away team for this one. So Lee Hull, bring you back in to take us away with the lineups.
Thank you, Eric. And leading up from the top, it's Jordan Lambert. Faith Pickard bats 2. Kelsey Nucky at 3, and then 4, 5 and 6, it's Lana Kaisler, Carly Allen and Emma Burridge. Then 7, 8, 9, the pitcher Maddie Scott. Alicia Marching brings up the 8th position, and the 9th hitter Jackie Beale. And their bench sitters, I'll just give the bench sitters, it's Brodie Borovnik, Amy Wheeler, Mackenzie Ween, Courtney May, Ella White, 5 young people with talent.
So James, you also coach in this league for Seacombe as well, and when you're going up against West Torrens, it must be so intimidating because that is an impressive lineup.
Just they bat through the entire lineup, and then defensively, there's no stopping either. Like they've got a star-studded lineup. Their infield is the best in the competition, and you know that's what solidified them at the top of the ladder in this season. Lead off Jordan Lambert, Aussie Spirit player. And then just after that, it's just a flow-on of talent, former state and current state representatives through junior and senior ages. It's just a dominant lineup, and it's just hard to defend against.
And we are moments away. The players are on field. They're warming up. Gabby Snyder on the mound pitching. You see Michaela Robinson in center field. James, it's a grand final. Why is this? I mean, it's just another game. That's what they say, but it's not just another game, is it? This is the grand final.
It's not just another game, Eric. I mean, no matter what anyone says, it's just going to take that little bit of extra effort, I think, in a grand final. Something special. Whether it is getting all your basics right is another story, because if you let the moment get to you a little bit, that's going to cost you. All right, that little bit extra just might be doing everything right.
Well, tonight history is made. We are live on 44. It's the Walkerville Cats and the West Torrens Eagles, the two best all season, and we are underway, and it's Jordan Lambert, a Team Australia player, leading it off for the Eagles.
Yes, you just saw that first pitch on the outside edge. Always good to see a couple of pitches earlier on in the game. She's going to ease her way into it by the looks of things.
Yeah, what is the strategy here? Do you take a few? How do you go against a pitcher that has just been so dominant all year? Under 1 ERA.
Well, we saw, not on our live stream, just fouls that one off and behind in the count. So 1 ball and 2 strikes for Lambert. We saw in the major semi-final, only 3 strikeouts for the West Torrens Eagles, which meant that they saw pitches, they got the ball into play, and that's going to be important against the quality pitcher of Snyder.
So Gabby Snyder settling in here. Jordan Lambert working on here on a 1-2 count. And this one goes high. 3 strikes are out in this simple game of softball, and Jordan Lambert is one tough customer. She's difficult to get out. A .620 on base percentage means she gets on base 62% of the time. In a game where if you can get over 400, that's good. 62% is pretty unbelievable.
Outstanding statistics, Eric, and it doesn't stop either at the top of the order for the Eagles. It runs through, I think, you alluded me to the stats, 7 of their players have an on-base average over 400.
And she swings at this one. It's cracked into the outfield, and it's a leadoff base hit for the Eagles. An epic battle to start the game, and Jordan Lambert wins that one.
A little bit of a miss hit. We might see it in the replay. Just caught the end of the handle. Thanks to Statewide Super. Our special comments from Lee Hull.
Yes, and what a great start for the little girl, Jordan. And she, in my opinion, is a complete player. She can throw, run, bat, steal, bunt, you name it, she can do it. And she's very dangerous in this position.
And Lee, what are we watching for here on the base pass with a danger like this on the base?
Well, we're looking at Faith Pickard probably go bunt here, I would think. Early doors it is, and they'll want to stamp their authority early.
So Faith Pickard checks that one. Jordan Lambert slides in there, and just like we saw, Jordan Lambert slides in there. Thanks, Lee, as Faith Pickard steps up to plate. One of the best young players in South Australia.
Yeah, a couple of pitches outside of the zone to start with as well. Obviously, Walkerville thinking the same as Lee. They're thinking bunt, 1 ball and 1 strike, correction on the count. Lambert took off on the second one. Didn't want to go on the first one. They were probably locked and loaded, ready to go on that steal.
And Pickard swings at this one. So she gets the second strike on there. She is a strikeout machine, I will add, Gabby Snyder. So if Faith goes down, it's nothing against her. It's Gabby Snyder being a machine.
150 strikeouts for the year, only second to Jade Peterson. Well, sorry, Eric. We saw Lambert take off. She's among the league leaders in stolen bases as well. So don't think that that's going to be the last time we see her put the burners on. She'll be using the wheels all night tonight.
Well, runner in scoring position already, and Faith Pickard just taking a couple pitches right here. Such a patient approach by Walkerville so far. Are you surprised by that?
Actually, not really. Not seeing the way that they've started. They've been choosing their pitches. They're only going after good pitches.
And she swings at that one. It's a full count, and that chops just behind us here in the commentary position. You can see a nice little pace to this one so far. You can sense the dramatics. The crowd's into it already. They're working Gabby Snyder. Whether Snyder gets through them or not, she's going to have to earn it. That's for sure.
That is for sure. They're making her work. Full count on Picard, and she fouls another one off. So she's seen 6, 7 pitches already. Lambert still on second base. There is no outs. Eagles are threatening early.
Big difference between regular season games in this competition and the finals is that we will play 7 innings. In the regular season, they're 90-minute timed games. So it means that Gabby Snyder might only pitch 4 or 5 innings in the regular season. She has to go 7 a night. And Faith swings at that one. That's a nice play by Sophie Roberts. Throw to first, and that just gets away. Lambert's going to go around third. Gooley waves around. Lambert touches home, and the Eagles strike first. It's a 1-0 ball game.
Put the pressure on the defense, Eric, and there was a ground ball to young Sophie Roberts. She did everything right. She got the play. We're going to see it on the replay. She got the ground ball on 1 bounce. She held up the runner, took off for the throw, but the pressure just got to her right at the last second. Alana Dales at first base couldn't hang on to it. Lee Hull, thanks to Statewide Super.
Yes, this is danger for Walkerville here, the blue and white side, because look at the next 3 batters. It's Kelsey Nucky, Lana Kaisler, and Carly Allen. Now, Nucky, on account of her batting up at 3 last Wednesday evening and did so well, got 2 safe hits. Emma Burridge comes back in but doesn't take that spot, number 3 spot. So credit to Kelsey.
And Kelsey Nucky is one of my favorite players to watch in this competition. And if you haven't seen her play before, just expect heart, soul, grit, and determination. You can see that glove on her hand. She is hurt. She hurt herself in the preliminary or in the qualifying final, and she almost hurt herself again in the last one just because she dived so hard to first base. But she's a gamer, and she had a clutch hit in the prelim as well.
Yeah, you just got to respect a player who puts their body on their line for their team and their club, and that epitomises Kelsey Nucky's game. She's been very impressive over the last couple of weeks because she's turned into a multi-dimensional hitter as well, because we've seen her drive the ball opposite field of late, but she can also smash the ball on the inside to the fence.
Is it a surprise that the Eagles season really took off when Kelsey's bat started to really fire up? I don't know if there's a coincidence, and she takes one for the team right there that just gets inside off her elbow. She's done it again. She gets on base, and that's what Kelsey Nucky does best, doesn't she?
Yeah, Kelsey, again, putting her body on the line for the Eagles. There is no outs. It's the 4th batter in the lineup. We're going to see Lana Kaiser up to bat. Lots of options here for Coach Gooley. Now, I was just going to point out that Gabby Snyder, she's not known for hitting batters, but she's hit a number of batters so far this year because she throws that inside screwball, and it's susceptible to hitting that right-handed batter.
So Lana Kaesler lays down the bunt. It's a nice one. Throw to first. They get the one out. They advance the runners. So job done by Lana Kaesler, another ultimate team player. Lana Kaesler, I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about her later on. She didn't quite get to play the full season this year due to some work commitments, but you know, even without that, she could be right up there in the best and fairest voting tomorrow because she's had an amazing season.
Unbelievable season. She's played 2/3 of the season, unavailable most Wednesday nights. But how well executed was that bunt just then, advancing both runners to second and third, 2 runners in scoring position for Carly Allen.
Dave Gooley plays a bit of small ball, and Carly Allen has had a heck of a season as well. She's batting .400, .623 on base percentage, behind the plate, a .991 fielding percentage. It's right up there in the best in the competition.
She's an unreal season.
She's one of the best in the state.
Yeah. So with first base open, Dave Gooley would have had no hesitation in walking the number 4-5 batter in the lineup. We see different tactics here from Walkerville. Only 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. They're attacking.
Big opportunity for the Eagles to draw first blood here with a big first inning. They've already scored 1, and she swings at that one, and that's just chopped foul. West Torrens can pile it on with the best of them. Same with Walkerville, but this would just put so much pressure on Walkerville early in this one. And you just look at the face and the grit and the determination of this Eagles team off to a wonderful start.
Yep, their patient turns at bat. I didn't predict a winner before the game, but I did predict that it was going to be low scoring. Eagles have got a run on the board early, and that is going to be very important.
And she's worked it to a 3-1 count, so she should get a pitch to hit right here, or the bases will be loaded for Emma Burridge. So let's see what Carly Allen can do. Here's the pitch, and she swings at that one. She just missed that one.
Yeah, just got the top of the ball then, fouled it straight back onto home plate and into foul territory. She won't be faced by that. She's a very patient hitter early on in the game, so she would have loved to have gone to a full count this early. Not much faces Carly Allen. She's got that steely grit about her, and she'll be looking to hit the ball to the fence right now.
The whole team with a bit of grit. Carly Allen, 2 runners on, and she hits this up the middle. Gabby Snyder holds the runner at third, and she's out. What a defensive play by the import pitcher to hold the runner at third and then get her out.
She held it right to the very last second, didn't she? Special comments brought to you by Statewide Super. Lee Hull, what'd you make of that play?
Terrific play, didn't panic Gabby. Faith was off a little bit far, I think, and that was the result in the end. Just put out, so that's relieved the pressure a little. Now we're 2 down, and there's still a runner in the scoring position.
Sophie Roberts did very well then to take ownership of the base, didn't she? She made sure that she blocked the base without giving up an obstruction call. 2 outs now, still 2 runners on base. However, they're on first and second. Faith Emma Burridge up to bat.
Just an absolute stud play, and this is hit. Is it going to find a gap? It does. Runner's going to come in and score. It's a 2-0 game. Emma Burridge delivers an RBI.
Emma Burridge missed Wednesday night, but she's back with a vengeance tonight. Bit of a blooper, bit of a miss hit, but you're going to take him in a grand final. Scores a run, advances the second runner to third base. She's safely aboard on first as well.
This is unbelievable here. I mean, 2 hits have got to the outfield. Jordan let it off, same with Emma, and they weren't spectacular hits. They just had enough of on it to find the gap. Some smart base running, putting some pressure on the defense. I mean, just excellent work here from both teams, which are going to push and shove each other all game.
That's the gamble that you make in softball. If the outfield is deep, you're allowing them to get a good piece of the ball, all right? But then you can't defend the little bloopers. If you have them in, you're going to be able to defend the bloopers, but you're going to give up extra bases on any batter, sometimes 4 on the fastest runners.
Well, here's a good sign when your 7 hitter is batting .310 with an on-base percentage of .457. Maddie Scott, the pitcher, has runners on the corners, and a good job by Chelsea Robinson to block this one. I just want to talk about the catcher here because it's sort of prompted there by a ball that was a little bobbling there. How important is it for players like Chelsea Robinson in these moments with a runner standing so close to home?
The catcher is your spiritual leader of the team. They hold that relationship with the pitcher, but they've also got to call out the plays. They can see everything. They've got to lead from the front. Chelsea Robinson is in the Aussie Spirit squad right now at the moment, current squad member, and you know, she has to stand up for the Cats right now.
Here's the pitch, and she swings through this one. They're just an out away from getting out of the inning, and I'm sure the Cats will breathe a big sigh of relief once that happens, but they'd breathe a bigger one if it's just a 2-0 game and not anything more.
Anything from here is a bonus for the Eagles. The Cats are trying to consolidate, get out of here.
And Maddie Scott swings through this one, so it's a strikeout from Gabby Snyder. 2 runs in the first inning. We're bringing back in Lee Hull, thanks to Statewide Super. Lee, we had a conversation in the office a little bit ago about if you're in a grand final, would you rather bat first or second? And I'm pretty sure you said you want to bat first because you have a chance to put them on.
Yes, I would always, Eric, I would always take that chance of batting first because if everybody's going to have nerves, umpires, players. So if you bat first, if you've got the nerves, you may get a couple of people on, you may not score, but the field can make a couple of errors, and that's what hurts you. So, and because it's not a time game, then there's no reason why you can't bat first.
So what kind of pressure right now would Walkerville be feeling?
Well, they'll feel the pressure, but it's early doors. They'll need to now get some people on base in this very first innings.
They've got to respond, don't they? It's Walkerville West Torrens have thrown down the gauntlet for Walkerville. If they don't respond now, all the momentum is with West Torrens. This game could be over before you know it.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So,
exactly right.
Lee, while we have you here, I would love for you to take us through the defensive lineup here for West Torrens. James, you mentioned in the pregame that this is just a fantastic defensive team. It could almost be a state team in itself with how good this West Torrens team is. Lee, why don't you take us through what this is?
I certainly will. Thank you, Eric. And the guardians of the grassed area out there, the outfielders, I'll name them first. It's Jackie Beale at left field, Alicia Marching at centre field, and Faith Pickard at right field. Now defending the dirt in the infield, at first base it's Kelsey Nucky, third base Lana Kaisler, and the pivots at second base Emma Burridge, and at shortstop Jordan Lambert, and the battery Maddie Scott to Carly Allen.
Lee Hull for Statewide Super. Thank you very much, Lee. We'll hear from you in this inning for sure. James, I'll get you through to take us the lineup in just a second here, but we got to start with the leadoff batter, Sophie King. What can you say about her? She's one of the pinnacles of this game in this state.
It's one of my favourite players to watch. She's so exciting. She can lay down a running bunt, or she can beat out an infield single, but then she can just put one in the alley and take a couple of bases on you. She's a former Stars representative. Hopefully we see her back in the tricolours next year.
So it's King, Robinson, and Snyder, the first 3. They're due up this inning. I mean, we talked about how tough West Torrens is, but could this possibly be tougher?
Well, they match up pretty well, don't they, the two teams? I think Snyder is...
and she swings at that one, and Sophie King leads it off, just like her counterpart Jordan Lambert did for West Torrens, and Walkerville are aboard.
I was just going to say that Gabby Snyder is going to be the barometer for this Walkerville batting lineup, but it's pretty handy when you've got Sophie King as the lead-off, Chelsea Robinson batting 2 right in front of you. We could see some more runs yet this inning.
17-year-old Maddie Scott on the mound, pitching in her first A-grade grand final. In a conversation I had with her before, I asked her, had you pitched in grand finals before? Of course, the answer was yes at the junior level. But when I asked her that, she said, yes, I have, but this one feels different. Is it a surprise it feels different? It is the A-grade grand final.
Well, she's the younger player in the team compared to the junior grades where she would have been a more senior player, a player that had the experience at playing in the A grade, playing with the state team, and even the Aussie junior squad more recently. So she has got some more experience. This one here, she's not so experienced.
And a bunt laid down here by Chelsea Robinson, and they get the force out at second. That's a fantastic defensive play from West Torrens, because a sacrifice bunt doesn't really work.
Well, we've continued to speak of their infield and the class, and we'll see here on the replay screen that Chelsea Robinson does nothing wrong here. She lays down a perfectly executed bunt. It's just the class of Lana Kayser firing across to shortstop Jordan Lambert for the first out and the lead runner.
Nice defensive play there from Lana Kaysler. She is a former best and fairest winner, so there's no surprise that you're going to see a class play like that from Lana. Gabby Snyder, though, she is the cream of the crop when it comes to hitting in this competition. She's an import player, and they brought her in for this reason. Linked with Chelsea Cohen, who helped get her over here, the import last year for Walkerville. And she's going to crunch this one to the outfield. Gabby Snyder has got on base, and they're going to force a play over to third. This gets away, and Walkerville are going to slide it at home. She's out.
Great play from the West Torrens Eagles. Jackie Bill just coughed one up out there at left field. Going to be critical whether this time around because it is a grand final, and then the throw was offline as well. Great support and backup. The play was at home. It was going to be always going to be tight because Chelsea Robinson just started there at the base, and Carly Allen just controlling the plate there, blocking it quite well, and the tag out made.
Look, it was a bit of a misplay at third, but this had to be a perfect throw in the perfect place and the perfect tag, and she got her.
If the throw had come any later, that's a great shot from Gabby Snyder. All class right there. Surprised they threw to her. And well done, Carly Allen. A moment later, I was just saying, would have been obstruction.
Wow, what a bang-bang play, and West Torrens keeps a run off the board. It's little plays like that that just make the biggest difference in the game, and that could have gone either way, whether it be sort of the pass ball over at third that scored a run, huge difference if they had scored that, but instead they prevent it with an unbelievable play. But the runner's still on third, and Desi Giamorales in the cleanup spot to plate, and she watches this go down low.
Desi Giamorales, all class, among the league leaders in walks as well as hits and RBIs for her team. Wow, what a great start. The defense of West Torrens just shining at that moment. The lead runner play, then that tag out at home.
And this one comes in. We'll bring in Lee Hull here with the statewide super special comments. Lee, bang plays.
Yes, they go one way or the other, Eric, and that went against Walkerville then, but good signs from the Cats. I'm just a bit perturbed how deep the outfield are playing here for the West Torrens side. Faith Pickard's miles back for Desi Giamorales. I would not think Desi would go over her head. She's come in a bit now for this batter. It's Sophie Roberts.
Sophie Roberts, one of the best young players in this competition. James, from a softball, administration standpoint, you got to love seeing the development of players like Sophie.
Sophie's unreal. She played both under 17 and under 19 state teams this year, and she was outstanding in both teams. She's also a state cricketer as well, so hopefully we can keep her in the sport. Very exciting prospect.
And she's put up big numbers this year too as she swings through this one. She's going to be in the conversation tomorrow night at the awards for a Rookie of the Year nod. She's had an absolutely unbelievable season.
Yeah, name's been thrown around a bit. Maybe, perhaps her teammate Hayley Benithan may steal a vote or two away from her. So,
and this is chopped up in the air. Who's got it? Kelsey Nucky calls it off. And a nice play from Kelsey to push off Maddie Scott to take that one. So we're through the first inning. It's a 2-0 game. In between every inning here, we're very lucky that Lee Hull, every inning, Lee Hull's going to be in between every inning. But Lee, what'd you make of that first inning with the statewide super special comments?
Well, it started promising for both teams, didn't it? And Walkerville just couldn't squeeze Chelsea home at the plate. That would have made a 2-1 ball game. But there's plenty of signs, good signs for the Cats, as there is for the Eagles now. What will the Eagles do this innings? Will they go on, get another run here, and make 3 runs, a lot of runs in the grand final to chase down? But one at a time.
Lee, they've got to do it with the bottom of their order. Alicia Marchenk may have been struggling of recent times, but she's very capable. She started the season off on fire. She's likely. She's the likely type. She can get her hands to the ball and do well. Jackie Beale's up next. Will she come up left-handed? Will she come up right-handed?
Well, it's anybody's guess, James, on that one, but we'll soon find out.
Well, Alicia Marchings gets on base 400% of the time. She's got a 400%. 40% of the time, she's got a 400 on base averages. We're ready to go here in the top of the second inning. Alicia Marching leads it off. Another really nice young player. This core is so young. They all seem to be in their late teens, early 20s. All of them starting to reach their prime of their career, and they're all going to get more experience. West Torrens just missed the finals last year with the same group they had this year, and Alicia, a key part of the seasons both these last 2 years.
Yeah, Alicia pulled off the play of the year last year as well, that diving catch.
That's right.
From the Spacequake Sports top 10 plays of the year. Looking forward to this year's, but she's the general out there at centre field. She's the leader amongst that group out there in the outfield, and she's come through the state program as well. State's under 17, under 19 player as well.
Well, I find it really interesting when you have some conversations with the Eagles players. I mean, it's so easy to look at the stats and say, if you miss, if Lana Kayser's out of the lineup, to say we're really going to miss Lana. But something really telling from Kelsey Nucky, one of the West Torrens players, told me is this is hit hard, and what a diving catch! Are you kidding me? Long live the King! Sophie King robs Alicia Marchink of a base hit.
Great play from Sophie King. It's what we've come to expect from her. She made that great play up the middle, just last game that they played right here on Spacequake Sports. And have a look at that. She breaks to her right, angles back for the diving play, horizontal and laying out for the Cats.
Jackie Beale to the plate. James, I love how nonchalant you are about that too. Just, that's what we expect from her. But you're absolutely right. That's how good of a player this woman on screen is right here.
That's the quality of our competition as well. I mean, everyone has a bad day once in a while, but Sophie doesn't seem to ever have one.
Well, it's going to be really telling. We're going to see Jackie Beale and then Jordan Lambert up. If one of these two get on base, the significance of that catch is only going to increase.
Yeah, for sure. It was a run saver, that's for sure. If that ball gets past her, it's going to head out to the MC Sportswear sign, statewide super sign, and that's going to be extra bases.
Here we go. Jackie Beale trying a bit of a... So for people watching at home in the batter's box there, you see a couple different techniques here and a bit of a different one here from Jackie Beale. What is the difference here in techniques of the swings you'd see here in softball?
So Jackie's just holding her hands back just a little longer to punch through the ball. It's called a slap or a running bunt attempt, and this is a more controlled, let's get the ball into play, rather than just swinging away and having less opportunity to play the percentages and getting the ball into play.
And you see this in baseball and softball too, especially when you have the count here at like 1-2 and there's 2 strikes. You get a pitch that's that borderline, in or out, just get the bat on ball, knock it away, and see if you can get one to hit, and Jackie's doing just that here.
That is part of the tactic of the running slap, because you've got that little bit extra control, so you can see off the pitches that are close or just out of the zone. And if you're a good exponent of that skill, which Jackie Beale has become, you can get yourself some cheap pitches and maybe even find yourself on base from a walk.
Absolutely here as a Jackie Beale. What a boost this would be if you can ever on any team gets a person on base here. Oh, almost there. Anyone at the bottom of the lineup in baseball or softball, if they can get on and turn it over to your Jordan Lamberts, it just is such a boost to your team, isn't it?
A lot of coaches will even use it as a tactic to put on in the number 9 spot, someone who's right up there amongst the on-base averages. Jackie Beale adds that little element of left-handed running bunt or even a right-handed shot. There you go, she's done it so well to the backhand of Desi G. Morales, and she beats out that infield single. It was a chopper straight into the ground, straight over the top of third base Sophie Roberts, and she could do nothing to stop that one.
Jackie Beal, what an at-bat versus the pitcher with the leading earned run average. It's hard to get on base against her, and she just battled, didn't she?
Yeah, she took 6, 7, 8 pitches there and done the job. Made amends for that little error.
Jordan Lambert, she got on base already. She won round 1. Jordan Lambert, she's going overseas with Team Australia in a few months. What an opportunity that is.
Yeah, she's signed with the NPF, so is Chelsea Robinson. Just fouls that one off.
And what does that mean? What is this competition? Where are they going?
National Pro League, they'll be playing for the Australian Aussie Spirit team in the North American Professional League for about 2 months. And that is in preparation for the 2018 Women's World Championships, which is a selection or one of those events for the Olympic Games qualification. There you go. Just thoughtful words there, but Aussie Spirit will be looking to prepare in the NPF for World Championships. They do well there. They might find themselves at the 2020 Tokyo Games.
Jordan Lambert with a eye spotted squarely on an Olympic roster spot. There's no question that would be her goal, to represent her country at the highest level you can. Any athlete, I think, in any of them. But here she is right now, focusing on the task. Grand final, runner on, 1 out, and it's a bit of cat and mouse game. You can see how catty, for lack of the better word, Gabby Snyder is with Jordan. She's just sort of nibbling the corners here.
Yeah, Gabby's been perfect this whole year so far. Let's see if Jordan...
And Jordan got the pitch she wanted. You can tell just a little swat in front of herself here. That was the pitch she wanted. She just missed that. She had a good swing.
Yeah, she left that previous pitch. It was in the left-handed batter's box, so she would have been hard done by to be rung up on that one. She's got herself into a full count here.
Lambert swings at this one. It's chopped into a bit of an awkward spot. And who else but Sophie King moves over to mop that one up. They'll bring up Faith Pickard. So there's 2 outs now. Sophie King with both the outs. Really, how big was that diving catch to rob Alicia Marchink of that hit? Otherwise, he would have had 1 out, 2 runners on, and Faith Pickard and Kelsey Nucky up. Just huge.
Yeah, equally as important as all the West Torrens outs in that previous inning as well, because Walkerville were threatening. Now this time around it's West Torrens threatening, and it's Sophie King that stood up. She is a previous MC Sportswear A-grade player of the grand final. The last time Walkerville won a premiership in 2011.
She's been around, Sophie King, and runner takes off, and she got her.
It'll be interesting to hear what Lee has to say about that one there. Jackie Beal, did she get a late start off of that, Lee, for statewide super?
Yes, James, I feel that she did, and it was the difference between being safe or out.
We can see it on the replay here, Lee. Let's see. The runner can leave the base as the pitchers release the ball. Actually, she looked like she got an okay jump. It's just the class of Aussie Spirit catcher, squad player, Chelsea Robinson.
So we've played 3 half innings here. Lee Hull, statewide super. What are your makes of this? Because we've just seen such fantastic little plays, whether it be clutch hitting or defensive case, and it's a great display of the best the state has to offer.
It certainly is, and we've got the best 2 teams in this league this season. And do we expect?
I feel like that doesn't happen much really in sport. We get really the best 2 teams going against, and this truly is.
Really does, but fortunate for everybody here watching, it's the 2 best teams, and rightly so. And we're seeing glimpses of what they can do. Look at Sophie King, the queen of the diamond.
Absolutely. Thanks, Lee. The Statewide Super special comments. I'll tell you what, Statewide getting the value for their sponsorship here. Big thanks to Statewide for jumping on board, supporting women's sport across the state, and in particular softball. We really can't operate without the support like these guys.
Yeah, amazing partnership, and we're only just in the beginning as well. So looking forward to a long-term partnership with Statewide Super.
Well, Alana Dales steps into this one. This is popped up behind the plate, foul. Walkerville are filled with a roster of a bunch of X factors, players that just grind away, work hard, get on base, and make things happen. Alana Dale's no different.
Yeah, Lana Dale's one of those players that if you just don't take them, they're unpredictable, because if you don't take them seriously, if you don't give them the respect they deserve, they're going to jump all over you. Maddie Scott gets her first victim here, the first strikeout of the night.
Well, in that little pregame bumper, you would have saw a hit from Erin Reed to drive in a pair. She got on base. Erin Reed, 486 this year. Tidy little season from Erin Reed.
Outstanding season from Erin Reed. She'd probably been such a consistent performer for the Walkerville B grade for a number of seasons, in and out of the A grade side, filling some spots now and then, but she's cemented her spot in the starting lineup this year for the Cats.
I love to hear stories like this about those players that worked their way in the lineup after hanging around for so long and really earned those opportunities. And when we were talking to Gabby Snyder before the game, she's the star player on the team, but she said this is a 9-player game, and she had a lot of nice things to say about players like Erin Reed, who really round out this team. She's in the 7-hole and batting .456. Unbelievable.
Yeah, another one of those players that you just can't take for granted. There, she will jump all over a bad pitch, but sometimes susceptible to a high pitch as well. But however, you're going to take that when you're batting those numbers.
So it's a 3-1 count here. Maddie Scott dealing on here. She's got one strikeout. She's allowed the one hit. She's allowed a walk as well. She's allowed a couple hits, and then she's allowed the walk, but as time and time, Maddie, she'll allow a couple runners on base, but Walkerville defense gets it out, and this is hard hit down the line, just goes a little bit foul. Yeah. Back to Maddie Scott, though. Key thing for her we got to watch for is walks.
Yeah, Maddie's been such a consistent performer over the entire year, but that's probably the only area of the game where you could be a little bit critical. I mean, it's hard to be critical for a pitcher who's thrown 1.5 ERA, but she has thrown her share of walks. But a young developing pitcher, you're going to expect that. Playing in the A-grade competition as well, she's punching above her weight. There's no doubt about it. She's been overshadowed a little bit by the quality infield that she's got backing her up, but credit where it's due, she's probably been one of the most underrated players of the years as well.
I mean, we talk about the walks, but the last 3 games for Maddie Scott, 3 walks over the last 3 games. I mean, that is 1 walk per game. That is really hard to do, and these are 7-inning games she's playing here in the lead up to the finals. Again, hit down the line, but again, foul. So Maddie really has worked so hard. You see her work hard all the time. She's daughter of Andrew Scott, great baseball player in South Australia, and they're a good tandem here, almost a coach/player.
Yeah, well, Lee was telling me that her mother, Jill Scott, was also a handy player of softball in her time.
And this is hit down the line, Kelsey Nucky. What a fantastic play. That is what Kelsey Nucky has done all season long.
I was just about to commend Erin Reed. She just kept hitting the ball, just hitting those pitches until she gets one that she likes. But this one just goes straight to Kelsey Nucky, and just like it's a training run, she took that one and played first.
She's a vacuum over there. Like anything that goes that way just ends up with Kelsey and just sucks it up and steps on the base and makes the out. So 2 outs, Bianca Ramsey, another young player.
Bianca Ramsey is one of the younger players in this team of Walkerville Cats. They've got a fair few in the on the bench ready to come on as well. Ellie Georgiaris being one of those as well. So they've got a little bit of talent coming through the lineups, through the ranks for the Walkerville Cats.
And Ramsey swings at this one. And Bianca Ramsey is going to push for 2. She's going to slide in. They're safe.
What a terrific shot. It came off the middle of the bat, and it's beat Lana Kaiser. There's no one better in this competition at third base than Lana, and she beat her off the middle of the bat. Then she just took it on. She took off for second, diving into the base to be safe as well. Watch this on the replay. She did the right thing. She took the outside of the base. What a great play, Bianca Ramsey, the 8 hitter for the Cats.
And as Michaela Robinson comes to the plate, we will turn to our special comments here, brought to you by Statewide Super with Lee Hull.
Thank you, Eric. And as you said, I can't add any more to what you said about Bianca, a young player playing at left field in the grand final. And what about the running? You know, she took them on and made it. Fantastic. Now, Michaela Robinson, another underrated player. Sure, she's not her sister, Chelsea, but at the number 9 hitting spot, she gets on base and then we get to the top of the lineup with King and her sister.
And thanks, Lee, you're so right that Michaela Robinson, just like James was talking earlier, one of those players that you put in the 9-hole because she can get on base and you turn it over to that top part of the lineup, which really does on damage, and she scores some runs. You're right, she's not Chelsea Robinson, and that's because she's Michaela Robinson.
Yeah, 9-hitter for the Cats, and the Eagles will definitely be wanting to make this out right here, right now. So the experience of Carly Allen just calling time out. It's a real good hitters count, but they can't afford to waste any pitches here because the top of the order comes around just the very next batter. So they need this out now to get out of a jam in the bottom of the second.
And there's a reason why Michaela Robinson has scored 11 runs, more or about on par with Chelsea. It's because Michaela's sitting there and she gets on base and the others bring her home. And that's what she does here. Michaela Robinson not only gets on base, she's going to drive in a run right to the wall. Michaela Robinson makes it a 2-1 game.
8-9 headers doing the job for the Walkerville Cats. They scored the first run for their game today. It's 2-1. They reduced the margin, and we've got the same situation. Runner still on second base in scoring position for the lethal, the deadly Sophie King, their leadoff hitter.
Michaela Robinson. Lee mentioned how he thinks she's one of the most underrated players in the competition. Well, won't take her lightly after that if anyone was before. In a grand final, she's delivered an RBI with 2 outs and made it a 2-1 game. Doesn't get much more clutch than that.
Yeah, although early in the game it is clutch because it's a grand final and runs are going to be at a premium.
Especially between these two teams, and Sophie King lifts one to the outfield. Michaela Robinson held up at third. Runners on the corners, so 3 straight hits here, and Chelsea Robinson coming to the plate.
Gee, Lee, you'd be tempted to send the runner there, maybe to try and tie the game up. The ball did go to the outfield thanks to statewide Super. Lee, what are your thoughts on that?
Smart coaching by Coach Tomlinson then. There was never any chance of her getting home on that.
You don't take the risk, you don't take the chance. It's the grand final. You leave nothing behind in a grand final.
Yeah, but it's early doors, I'm thinking.
So here's the interesting thing here. There's 2 outs. There's a runner on first and third. Now we know that Dave Gooley loves to use his intentional walk and put someone on base, and you might see him use it on someone like Chelsea Robinson, who he doesn't want to put the bat in her hands to drive someone home. I think he's a little handcuffed here because if he intentionally walks Chelsea Robinson, it'd be bases loaded for Gabby Snyder. So Walkerville have put themselves in a good position here with their 2 best hitters coming up here and runners on first and third and a chance to tie the ball game.
When you're doing your lineup, you talk about protection for your best hitters. Because if they get intentionally walked, then there's protection for them. The next batter's normally a good hitter that can bring them around. So it's a risk in itself, putting a good batter on, knowing there's an exceptional batter following them.
And that's what they've set up here, and Robinson swings at this one. This is what you want. Clutch 2-out hitting here. Back-to-back-to-back hits. They're going to need a 4th one to drive home the run.
And you can tell that Coach Tomlinson here is not putting any plays on because the throw from Carly Allen is strong and can probably get the runner going to 2. Sophie King has got wheels and she'll use them if she needs to, but with the quality that's in the box now and in the on-deck circle, there's no risk in trying to put a steal on.
Here we go. Chelsea Robinson.
Yeah, just trying to get her to chase a bad pitch here, keeping it low in the zone, 3-1 count. The same count her sister had when she put it to the wall.
It's a hitter's count right here for Chelsea. Can she deliver? And Chelsea Robinson takes a walk.
Well,
how is this for a battle, James? Bases loaded, and Gabby Snyder is to the plate.
Well, this is really going to test Dave Gooley. He likes to save his intentional walks for the best batter in the lineup when there's runners in scoring position. He cannot do that because if he does, he gives up a run. Outfield are deep. They are all the way back to the fence.
Bases loaded. The 17-year-old Maddie Scott versus the most threatening player in the competition this season, Gabby Snyder. This is why they brought Gabby over. Moments like this, the import. Bases loaded. Watches this down low. This one just slips away. Runner trying to come home. Diving to the plate. She's out!
What a clutch play from Carly Allen. The ball just got away from her. Michaela Robinson tried to take on the pass ball and she was able to get back in time. The replay is going to show it all. This is huge.
Oh my goodness, what have we just seen? This just slips away. Here's Carly Allen, dives in there, just gets her out. The umpire calls her. What heart, grit, determination, laying it all on the line, and it takes the bat out of Gabby Snyder with them all racked. Such a close play.
That is as close as you're going to get, Eric. Unbelievable play. It'll be talked about for over and over. They've left runners on base with Gabby Snyder in the box.
Well, we'll bring in Lee Hull with special comments from Statewide Super. Lee, that's 2 times they have gunned runners out now at the plate.
Yes, it is, Eric, and will they rue those 2 decisions, because it was touch and go, but like you said, excellent running from Carly Allen to get back to that ball and then run her down. She was on a bike, Michaela.
Let's talk about the significance of these defensive plays. Don't forget, it's bases loaded and no runs scored because of the amazing play there from Carly Allen. Last time we saw potentially a run saver from Sophie King defensively, but this time, bases loaded with the best batter in the competition at the plate, and she's going to come back up with nobody on. Unbelievable.
Well, as they say, the sun is shining on West Torrens today. Incredible defensive plays. They did give up a run, but they got out of jail there. 3 runners on base with the best hitter in the competition up to bat. What a play. Well, now they've got to do it in defense, because it could be heartbreaking if West Torrens can put another run on the board, because it'll be a wasted opportunity. However, first pitch, Faith Picard pops up to first base player Alana Dales, and that brings up Kelsey Nucky.
Nucky to the plate. A handy first out there just to settle them down.
Yeah, they would have been after a quick out. Maybe they want 3 quick outs here. Snyder will be up to bat, so she's going to be trying to make quick work of this inning and get back to doing her job.
Well, we've seen a little bit of everything so far in this one. What a treat we are having, and we're going to get a timeout called.
Timeout call because of the foul ball coming from the other diamond. It's the Baseball SA Grand Final, Game 2 of their 3-game series on tonight.
Yeah, and if you want to pop up the Twitter feed there of the Adelaide Bite while you're watching at home, you can see all the updates here. What a hub of activity it is here in Diamond Sports, and what a pitch that was from Gabby Snyder.
Yeah, Snyder is just getting straight back into it. She's got 1 quick out. She's got 2 strikes on Kelsey Nucky. She'll be looking to protect here, get the ball into play, fouling off bad pitches. Good
Just
hands.
A little bit high, and she says that's on me. Gab, I love watching both these pitchers in these games, because you would never tell if they've allowed 5 runs in an inning or they had the perfect inning and got 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts. Same demeanor.
Yeah, absolute quality of the person that she shows. She actually just shook off Chelsea just then. She wants the pitch to strike her out, and she gets it.
Well, sometimes you know what you're feeling, and that was an instance right there. And Gabby Snyder gets another strikeout, just her 2nd strikeout of the game, and we're in the 3rd inning, so she's below her clip a little bit. Might be a little bit of virtue of just an absolutely class batting lineup here from West Torrens.
Only 3 strikeouts the last time they played, and that was a 3-run-to-2 victory to Walkerville over West Torrens. Funnily enough, it's the same scoreline, 2-1, about the same time of the game last time they played.
What a game that was, because Walkerville was up 1-0, then it was 2-1 West Torrens. Walkerville responded, went up 3-2, and they just held on for dear life. And I just can't see any team really pulling away from each other in this one, just because of how good both of them are.
Yeah, and you've got to keep a tight chain on both teams, otherwise they're just going to let loose. We saw West Torrens on Wednesday night. They put 10 on the 3rd place team, the Hills Heat. So quality batters from both teams.
Well, she's starting to dial up the velocity a little bit.
Yeah, she looks sharp. It's you know, she didn't look too bad in the 1st inning. She gave up a couple of little bloopers, but she hasn't looked bad at all, and giving up the 2 runs in the first inning, not so much in the second, but you know, she gave up a base hit from Jackie Beale, but right back into it in the third inning. First 2 batters out, 2-2 count on Lana Kaiser.
And this just chopped foul. Lana Kaisler, former best and fairest winner. I mean, it could be close tomorrow night. She could pull quite a few votes.
Yeah, the West Torrens team finishing top are all going to take votes
That's
away
the problem,
from each
right?
other because the quality of the top 7 in their lineup, including the pitcher, always polls well.
This is chopped foul just behind us. I guess you're absolutely right about that. And Jordan Lambert's, you can say the same thing about her. She's going to pull some votes. Kelsey Nucky should pull some votes. Carly Allen could pull some votes. Maddie Scott, I mean, she's been pitching and hitting in the games.
Yeah.
You're right, there's
And then
right
Faith
there.
Picard came in as the ultimate utility. After the Christmas break, she's been on fire. I think she's up around about 350, 380 batting average as well.
That said, I think you ask any single one of these players in the game tonight, would you rather win the best and fairest or would you rather win a premiership? Answer's pretty easy. These 2 teams are the definition of team. Like, they've worked so well together, their lineups, their pitching, their hitting, just 2 units that have been unstoppable, nearly unbeatable in 2018. And this is, you can hear the crunch off the bat.
Yeah, Lana Kaiser has got absolute power in her swing. She's got a strong upper body. She's got strong legs as well. And the wind has just picked up a little bit, and the evening breeze at West Beach blows towards left field. So if she gets under one, that tailing breeze should be able to assist it. We may even see a home run tonight.
No way. Lana can hit a home run.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So can the next batter, the batter on deck, Carly Allen. She's done it already once this season.
It's been a big battle here between Lana Kaisler and Gabby Snyder. She's just not finding West Torrens as easy as she's found some of the other competition, I think.
Great change of pace there. We haven't seen many from Snyder tonight, so a little bit of a risk, but with 2 out on a full count, you know, it's worth a try.
Carly Allen comes to the base, and that's what she wants. She wants something to work with on base. Carly Allen can crunch them with the best as well, too. This is just, I mean, how do you deal with this lineup? Those are 2 huge bats back to back.
Yeah, and then you add Nucky before that, and Maddie Scott to come, or Emma Burridge first, and then Maddie Scott. I mean, it's just relentless against the Cats defense. The pressure is on them every single time a batter comes to the box.
And this is hit up the middle, throw over to first, and that ends the inning. So we head now to the bottom of the 3rd. Gabby Snyder is going to lead us off. We'll bring back in Lee Ho with the statewide super special comments. It's a 2-1 game, and what a game it is so far.
Yes, and I think Gabby stepped up the pace then in that innings. I think she was put out a bit by not being able to swing the bat on that previous turn when she hit.
Okay, so Spacequake, thanks a lot for that insight, Lee. Spacequake Sports are bringing us a couple of online polls. So if you're watching on Facebook, you can see the Facebook poll. Right now, we're going to go through some classic catches of the year. We've got 2 of the best catches of the year to vote between, and they'll come on screen in just a moment.
Ball's popped out. That's almost going to come in.
Well, there's, I think we're going to see a few of them. Look at this. We're going to start off with a beauty just taken by the commentator, whether it be up the middle, big catch. It's time for classic catches, and here's a big hit. In a Seacom game, Vicky McFarland taking a diving catch. It was a screamer, and that sealed Port their first win in over a year, and then Jess Neves took an absolute screamer diving in there. So one to seal the first win in over a year, or wow, how did Jess grab that? She laid out against Gabby Snyder, who you see in this game. Head to the Facebook page right now on Softball SA and vote right now. And if you're watching on Channel 44, go follow Softball SA. You can see all the highlights. Go join it on YouTube. They got the high definition stream running on there. Let's join the communities together. But we're back to the top here, and Gabby Snyder leads it off.
Yeah, the 3-hitter for Walkerville, Gabby Snyder, and she had 2 balls on her when that 3rd out was made at home. What a play that was. That'll be talked about for for some time to come. And
that'll be talked about until next grand final.
no doubt about it. Now, I was going to say it was the perfect timing. It was plenty of theatre in sport, isn't there? Robert Laidlaw broke the story in the grand final program. This is Gabby Snyder's last game of softball.
Wow.
She's hanging him up. She's going to go study medicine. She's at college. She's already done 4 years, and then she's going back to finish her studies and retiring in softball at 23, 24 years of age. Wouldn't this be a way to go out?
Last game of softball, and she had bases loaded, 2 outs, and there was a play at the plate that called them out. Wow. And she is going to go crunch here. This one hit all the way to left field, and Jackie Beal, she's just been so reliable out there in outfield, makes a nice catch to retire the threat hitter.
Yeah, she was playing deep. Leah will have something to say about that, I'm sure. We'll get to him in a moment, but she came in on the pitch as well. That breeze would have been blowing straight into her face as well, which would have made that catch a little difficult. Desi G. Morellis now up to bat.
So just quickly here, that was the 3rd time Gabby Snyder's been to the plate, we'll call it. I know it's just technically part of the last at-bat, but both times before that, there was a play at the plate that was called out when she was the part of it, whether it be her hitting the runner ahead in a play at the plate or a play like this. So Desi G. Morales settles in. The first one is down, so Maddie Scott settling into the inning. And thanks to Statewide Super, we will bring in Lee Hull with some special comments. Brought to you by Statewide Super.
Thank you, Eric and James. And yes, I do believe the outfield for West Torrens are playing far too deep, but time will tell. That was interesting. Dave Gourley led her bat then, Coach Gourley led her bat, but it wasn't as long as the ball as she usually hits to the opposite field, but it still had a bit of depth in it.
Yeah, Lee, we spoke off air about this. We thought that Dave might use his opportunities to walk Gabby, but he hasn't been given the chance to do that so far this game. They had to pitch her at the first inning. They had to pitch to her just then.
Well, Desi G. Morales swings through this one, so it is a full count. Back to you, Lee, with the special comments.
Yes, well, I think you're 100% correct there, James, but there'll come a time when there'll be people on base and she'll bat and she will crunch it.
And this is hit hard again in the outfield. She didn't even have to move. Alicia Marchink brings that in, so it's pretty good contact there, back-to-back hitters, but just to the wrong place. Couldn't pick a worse place for both of them.
Yeah, Walkerville don't have much luck so far this game. The game isn't about luck, though, and they've just got to keep going about their business. One of these hits will drop in soon enough. However, West Torrens are defending so well right now.
One of the best young players in the competition, Sophie Roberts. She had a great battle earlier with Maddie Scott, and in the end of it, it was just a nice little play there by Kelsey Nucky. So here we are, 2-1, 2 outs. It was a nice, tidy inning in the 3rd on the West Torrens batting side. Can the pitching do it the same?
Yeah, Maddie seemed to settle down after the 8-9 hitters got on and the first run scored, didn't she? So instead of crumbling, so it's a credit to her character, and young Scott is showing some resilience.
And how about this? This goes crunch, and this goes all the way to the wall. Sophie Roberts is going to go to second base with a big double. How impressive is this young star?
That's an awesome shot from Sophie Roberts. A couple of bounces and into the fence. We've watched the replay screen right in her wheelhouse there. She just stepped away from the pitch and it just went right off the middle of the bat to the fence. Alicia Marchink chasing it down. The trailer picking that one up. So the second cut-off play. Timeout's going to be called. And I think it's probably timely as well because the last 3 batters have all had outfield shots.
So what would they be saying in this? What would Dave Gooley be doing going out here? What do you say to a young pitcher like this here?
There's 2 outs. Okay, you've got your number 7, number 6 batter in the order up to bat. You know, easy does it here. All right, let's just go back to what you do best. Pitch to Carly. She's gonna the catcher. She's gonna call a good pitch here. She might just pitch around the zone a little bit here because the confidence in the Walkerville lineup will be she's slotting him at the moment. So I'm gonna go after her.
Madison Scott is just that demeanor you see again. She comes out of that. She's been hit hard 3 times in a row. And again, she's just smiling, laughing, taking care of business.
Yep.
It's what she does.
Yeah, Coach Gooley would have been after a ground ball as well, so don't expect anything up for this batter.
Here's the pitch. She gets a strike. Nice little pitch right there. West Torrens just trying to get through. 3rd inning. They're almost at the halfway point. And this is hit to the outfield once again. Will this find a gap? And Alicia marching just can't quite hold on to this one. And we have a tied ball game thanks to a clutch hit from Alana Dales.
It has been the unsung heroes of the Cats doing the business. 7-8 hitters, or 8-9 hitters last inning. And this time round, there's 5-6 hitters doing the job. Sophie Roberts will cross home there. She scores off her double. Alana Dales gets a double of her own. The Cats welcomed Alana Dales back to their lineup tonight. They had Karen Dale playing first in the semi-final. They'll be happy with that selection.
It is game on, but a runner still in scoring position for Erin Reed. And we talked about her before. I really like Erin Reed a lot, and she is someone that can deliver a hit right here.
Another hit, might even put the Cats in front. High pitch, and that's a good pitch to call on Erin Reed. Try and catch her swing on a bad pitch. It's a 1-on-1 count now. You'll probably see her come back into the zone here.
Well, we knew there wouldn't be much between the teams, and it's a 2-2 game. What a buzz it is around here, too. You can feel the crowd just watching every pitch. People in the outfield, people on the side. You have people from the baseball game right next to us that you keep seeing. We're in the Port Adelaide supporters. They're playing a game over there, and some of them have moved over to check out the softball game. There's a bit of an aura around this one.
Yeah, it's a great feeling, isn't it? I mean, it's just gone a little bit colder now that the sun's gone down, but what a feeling it is just around this place. The grandstand's not full, however, it is shoulder to shoulder around the outfield, down the foul lines. Great atmosphere here at West Beach.
You can see some people watching both of the games as this one just chopped foul right in front of us at the commentary booth, and I love that. It's probably what I'd be doing as well, too. If you're coming just to watch it down, you see some people. We're looking over here right now. People just turning over, watching the softball, watching the baseball. It's a nice place to be. Diamond Sports SA, always something coming down here. If you've never been down here before, you've missed out this last summer, unfortunately.
It's been a huge summer of softball and baseball. The Diamond Sports Complex has been a buzz all year, as it will be next year as well. We've got more tournaments on, and that actually starts as soon as this season finishes. We've got some Junior League baseball, we've got Sapsaza softball, we've got the Australia Cup softball as well.
But right now it's the grand final, and Erin Reed swings through this one. Chopped foul, so it's a full count, runner on second. It does mean that Alana Dales is going to get a jump, so you'd think a base hit could take the lead for the Cats.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought that at the start of this inning when the first 2 batters flew out to the outfield. Erin Reed got a job to do here.
And she swings this one. Maddie Scott scoops this up. Underhand toss. We're through 3, and we're all square. 2-2. Not much between them. Lee Hull, statewide super special comments. It's between the innings, so we'll bring you back. Lee, you predicted that this would be a tie going into the 3rd extra inning or whatever it is. Well, we're through 3 innings, and it's already been a comeback. Unbelievable.
Yes, it is, and but worrying sides for the Eagles then, because the first 4 hitters all hit the ball deep to the outfield. 2 were caught, 2 weren't, and Sophie Roberts and Alana Dale's hits were as good as you could hit her.
You're absolutely right, Lee. And there's been some close plays in here because even in the last inning before, remember the bases were loaded and it was a play at the plate that just kept a run. West Torrens have also gunned down a run, so it is a 2-2 game. If you wanted to play it the other way, it could also be a 4-2, 5-2 Walkerville game right now.
Yeah, they've had the offensive pressure for sure. They left a lot of runners on base already early in this game. So as good as the West Torrens defense have been, the Walkerville offense just need to take a little more responsibility for their turn at bats with runners in scoring position.
It's a long game, and both teams are going to have plenty more opportunities. We're through 3. It is a 7-inning game. We've thrown the time limit out the window. So here we go. We'll start the 4th. Emma Burridge comes to the plate. I love it. You got the pump-up music that is being played over there by the West Torrens bench, getting everyone going. It's something you don't always see in the games as well during the season. So a bit of a different vibe, absolutely, as it should be. Emma Burridge. Now, West Torrens did not make the finals last year. They just finished out of the side. They were a young side. Maddie Scott in her Rookie of the Year, and she had a great year. Emma Burridge missed all last year because of an injury, and she came back in the lineup this year and has made a huge difference. I know one player doesn't make a team, but that's a pretty big addition that's helped them get to this point. Grounded, though, over towards first and just bobbled a little bit, and Emma Burridge is on board.
Now, this is a new change from Walkerville as well. Lana Dales has just hit that double, but they've brought in Karen Dale into first base. So she's just come in, fresh player to the game, straight into the action. She just bobbled it a little bit. Back on Emma Burridge, she missed the entire season last year as an up-and-coming player, a national champion player in under-19s in 2015 as well. But that left a spot open for Faith Picard, so they were able to blood a young player into the team.
And this is bunted towards Gabby Snyder, throw over to first, so job done. Pretty safe bunt. That's to be expected from Dave Gooley. He plays a little bit of small ball, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. So well played, and Alicia Marchink comes to the plate with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, you just had to play a little bit of safe softball there. Let's advance the runner to second base, put him in scoring position, and just hope that the bottom of the order can do the same job as what Walkerville's just done.
This is again chopped foul. Alicia Marchink to the plate. He started to allude to her before there, and again, I had a conversation with Kelsey Nuck, and we talked about the value of that bottom of the lineup. And she was saying before one of the games where both Alicia Marchink and Lana Kaesler were both missing, and Kelsey was going on and on about the fact that Alicia was missing as a huge out as this is flown over to second, which I think just says a lot about the value of this lineup top to bottom, knowing that she's really emphasizing Alicia Marchink's out over a best and fairest player.
Yeah, they know that every single player in the lineup is going to be very important to the success of the team, and so you miss a key player like a center field player, even though they might bat 6, 7, 8, 9 in the order, they're still a key player in the lineup.
Well, Jackie Beal had a great at-bat last time. She got the infield single. Unfortunately, she was gunned down, caught stealing, and she had that great catch last inning. Jackie Beal making her imprint on this game. We were wondering before, would it be Courtney May or Jackie Beal in the outfield? Right decision. Jackie Beal's had a great game so far.
Not bad. She made that little fumble and a slide overthrow, but that turned into an out. Ever since then, she's not put a foot wrong, including that hit that she got in the first turn up at bat. It was a little ground ball that chopped straight over the top of third base Sophie Roberts' head.
Well, James, I don't know if that adds an element of intrigue. I'm just looking around the ground. There's a couple marquees behind us that are starting to be blown over because of the wind, the flag going up there, the wind and the elements, just adding that sort of ghouly, not a Dave Gooley, but just a ghouly sort of feel to the grand final here.
Just had to pick up Lee off the ground as he's laughing there. And Jackie Beal just fans at that one for a strikeout. It's a little bit to be expected. It's that time of year where cooler conditions start, the sea breeze picks up, and strikes out.
Gabby Snyder gets her third strikeout, and she leaves a runner stranded in scoring position. So that's a big, big inning there. We go to the bottom of the fourth. We bring back in Lee Hull with our statewide super special comments. We're at the exact midway point of the game. It's a tie affair here, Lee.
Yes, Eric, and full credit to Walkerville then, because the Cats, after that very good innings with the offense, came up with 3 quick outs there, and so now the game tied at 2 apiece. What's going to happen now, you think?
Lee, you've been around a lot of grand finals in your day, 1 or 2. Take me through the stages of a grand final. I know there's a lot of excitement early in the game, but as the game progresses, is there different emotions you're feeling here? Take me through that grand final experience.
No, probably not. I think you just have to play it as you go. As I've said many times before, it's not a time game, so there's no rush. Just go about your business, get your signals correct, get your plays correct, and go from there.
Well, what I love about this game so far is both of the teams, the girls on the team, look like they're just enjoying it and embracing the moment so much. Sturt had won the last 4 before this, so there's 2 new teams here in this stage. Glen Elg was there last year, so 2 teams getting a fresh opportunity. Yes. Maddie Scott versus Bianca Ramsey.
Yeah, it's exciting for both clubs to be back in the grand final. Walkerville's last premiership, 2011. West Torrens won it the year before that, 2010. That actually ended a 6-year reign for the West Torrens Eagles. They went from 2005 to 2010, 6 consecutive championships.
Well, Bianca Ramsey absolutely crunched a ball and scored the first run of the ball game for the Cats in the second inning, and she gets good contact here. That's going to be chopped foul. Bianca Ramsey's been playing pretty well against just West Torrens in general, I think, this season.
Yeah, Bianca Ramsey is a bit of an unsung hero. I've used that term already once tonight. Probably a junior age player over the last couple of years, gone up into seniors this year, and has earned her spot here as a starting player in the A-grade lineup. A product of the Dragons program as well, a junior development program from a couple of years ago. Exciting to watch.
0-2 count. This is just Bianca Ramsey battling away. She did that last time, then finally turned on one.
Yeah, Bianca was the player that got Walkerville started in the semi-final. She had an RBI shot in the 4th innings that gave the Cats the early lead.
And she hits this one hard too. There's the class of Lana Kaisler. You talked about her earlier, and that was a fantastic play.
Yeah, that was the exact same play that Bianca Ramsey had the last time. Remember, it was a hard line drive shot straight to the third base player. This time it was on glove side of Kaisler, which gave her that, I don't know, half a fraction of a millisecond to read the ball and take that catch.
Michaela Robinson has an RBI in this game. Robinson and Dales, the two women who have battled it in with the RBI. So Michaela Robinson will try to do this again and get on base and then try to score a run. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. Up high.
A key out for West Torrens. We said it the exact same time when Michaela Robinson was up to bat the first time, and she ended up putting one to the fence. So let's see how she goes this time. A 2-0 count. Good hit a count.
And this is grounded towards Maddie Scott. Bobbled a little bit, but calm, cool, collective, and that's another out.
Well, she did manage to do the fielding off her own pitching there, but because she bobbled it, she thought she just had to rush that little bit and come up with an overarm throw. First time she fielded one that came back straight back to her, underhand. So that little bit of pressure, you know, that could cause a little bit of doubt, but she managed herself well there for the second out of the inning.
Sophie King had a big game already. That catch she made in the second inning was pure class, and she's been on base twice already today.
Yeah, Sophie King is one of the leaders of this team, and they are pleased that she's back full-time with this team as she took on a career that, you know, kept her away from the game from time to time. We've seen her in and out of the lineup a little bit. It's not because of her skill, it is because of her career, and so they'll be really happy to have her.
Well, she's 2 for 2 today. James, when you have a leadoff hitter, do you want anything better than 2 for 2 with 2 singles?
That's all you can ask for. I mean, the job's not done though now. Coach Tomlinson will be not wanting her to stop now. She'll keep swinging that hot stick and giving her a green light, I'd say.
I feel like every club has almost a prolific leadoff hitter. There's so much talent around this competition, isn't there?
Yeah, it's unreal. It's so great to see as well. And when you have a look at the individual as well, you've got the Aussie Spirit player in Jordan Lambert. You've got Sophie King, who's a former Stars player and just an excitement machine. Amber Hood, Aussie youth player and Stars representative. Jenny Dunn's the leadoff at Seacon.
And this is hit over towards Jordan Lambert. She's going to try to throw it across first, and she's called safe. An infield single on the pure heart and hustle from Sophie King getting there. Jordan Lambert played that really well, but Sophie King's aboard with her 3rd hit.
We'll see it on the replay. She has to break to her backhand side. That's her right-hand side. Anchor that back foot to get a powerful throw away, and Sophie King just beat it out. Good call from World Baseball Softball Confederation Hall of Famer Neville Lawrence there.
Absolutely fantastic play, but that's huge because Chelsea Robinson now has some speed on the base paths, and she can bat. And she took a walk last time. She was fielder's choice on her first at bat. So
the bunt, sacrifice bunt attempt, played the lead runner.
Team player.
Yeah.
Robinson will certainly be patient here. There's no questions about that.
2 outs. Tomlinson will give her the go.
And here's a hit. Are you serious?
Another one.
Lana Kaisler lays out with a fantastic catch that could have even possibly saved a run. And we're through 4 in the grand final, tied at 2.
That's going to halt the momentum that Walkerville have had as well, because they gave up too early, but then they settled. They settled, and then they just kept applying the trade. Get runners on base, let's advance them, and we'll score them. In defense, they've been solid as. And it takes a catch like that to bring the team back up again. Now it's West Torrens. West Torrens are up and about.
Lee Hole, we head to the final 3 innings here. Lee Hole in the statewide super special comments. We're through 4, not much between it. What do you make of that fantastic defensive play?
Well, it's Lana Kaiser at her very best, and we saw that Wednesday evening in the preliminary final. She's just carried it on, and anything that's hit hard, she'll just snaffle it. So how do you beat that? You just have to go wider, don't you, if you can. But she's a terrific fielder and batter.
So coming up this inning, Lee, the top of the lineup for West Torrens, and they'll be facing Gabby Snyder for the 3rd time. Should be an advantage or no?
It should be. Technically it should be, but will it be? That's the question. And we'll soon find out. It's Lambert, yes, and you were talking about lead-off hitters. You've missed Regan Lambert too for the Glenelg side, and don't you just love it? Especially you, James. Just somebody that can have a really good turn at bat and get themselves on one way or the other. You know, that's just all you can ask for.
Although the 6th time these two teams have played this year, you're speaking about the advantage of seeing the pitcher. Walkerville has seen Maddie Scott every single time they've played, whereas this is only the 3rd time Snyder has pitched against West Torrens. They kept him in the pocket earlier on in 2018, whereas Maddie Scott has thrown every inning against Walkerville so far.
All but 4.2 innings. Maddie Scott has thrown every inning for West Torrens this year. They have got nothing to hide. What you see is what you get, and what you get is a class pitcher from Maddie Scott. But Gabby Snyder is here now, and she's pitching, and she's pitched very well in this game. She allowed 2 in the 1st, but since then, really, this West Torrens offense has been stymied. Jordan Lambert looking to change that here in the 5th. Both teams with only 3 innings to play with. It's hard to believe that each team in their pocket has single-digit outs, so we are getting to the business end of this game.
9 outs each to go. Lambert in an 0-2 count leaves that one on the outside edge. Very surprising that she swung at that high pitch as well. Obviously looking for one to go after, and that was the one that she chose to go for. 1 ball and 2 strikes now.
Lambert swings at this one, chopped over to Sophie King, throw to first. Look, Sophie King made that play, and that would be easy for anybody, but how was that even a close play? How quick does Jordan Lambert run down those lines?
Yeah, she moves pretty quickly. She's got a slight frame, and she's athletic as well, so she can get around the bases pretty quickly. Faith Picard up to bat. She can move as well.
What a useful player Faith Picard is.
It's been unreal to see Sophie King's influence in this game. Before the game started, all the talk would have been about Snyder. Keep the ball away from Snyder. Don't hit the ball back to Snyder. Don't pitch it to Snyder.
And Picard puts this to the outfield. You gotta have faith, and Faith Picard is aboard with a single. And with 1 out, Kelsey Nucky has an opportunity to move her around.
She was in control of that swing, and just another little one that's dropped short of the outfield. They are probably slightly deeper than regulation, so obviously Walkerville happy to give those hits up. The runner is on base for West Torrens.
Kelsey Nucky. They're opting, this is interesting, they're opting to bunt there, and so it'd be a sacrifice bunt if all goes to plan. You'd have a runner on second and 2 out. Really does show the level of small ball that West Torrens want to play. Just get the runs around because you'd have a runner on second. Even though there's 2 outs, you put your faith in Lana Kaisler. Does it come down to an element of trust from Dave Gooley to this team too, saying you don't need to have 1 out on there. You can have 2 outs. I'm going to trust you to get that hit.
Yep, they want the big game players to step up, don't they? It's a Stars representative as well, and she's a veteran of the Stars team as well. At least 4 or 5 seasons with the Stars, maybe more, I could be wrong. 10-year state representative at least. Put the runner in scoring position, and you've got Kaiser to...
And Nucky lays down a really nice bunt. That's about as nice as it gets there. That's exactly what she was trying to do. The objective, the name of the game, was move Faith Picard, who's got some wheels, over to second, and let your slugger, Lana Kaesler, who just made potentially a run-saving catch in the last inning, try to drive one home here.
With 2 outs, any shot to the outfield's going to score, as long as it doesn't land in the fielder's glove, of course. But yeah, it's a little bit of risk, but it's high reward if it pays off.
Well, championships are won on 2-out hitting, and it's a big moment. Getting to the later stage of the game, there's not much between these teams. Runs are at a premium. Runner on second. Lana Kaesler to the plate.
She didn't like that one there. It was low in the zone, called by umpire McCauley. And so she just gave herself a couple of seconds there to regroup. She knows it's an important turn at bat. This one is in foul territory and is going to get away from a maul.
Love the hustle.
Yeah, 3 players trying to get to that one. They know if they can make that catch and that out, that they arrest the momentum that West Torrens had going into this batting innings with that screamer of a catch from Kaesler. She took 2 in 1 innings, 3 for the game.
Good crowd over there in left field. Everyone wants a look. What an out this would be, though, for Walkerville to get through the top 4 of the lineup without allowing any runs, and you'd head to the 6th inning with the bottom of the lineup coming. That would just be a massive tick in the box here for Walkerville at this stage of the game. What a pivotal moment. Can't even speak.
It's
two
a
pivotal moments. And she crunches this one way foul into the bleachers. What a catch out there by the gentleman making that, but you see how quickly she can turn on them, can't you?
Yeah, she just got a little early on that inside pitch. Eagles would have loved for that one to drop in just on the left field line and score a run, putting another runner in scoring position. Kaesler's job's not done yet.
1-2 count, makes it a 2-2 count. We'll bring in Lee Hole with the statewide super special comments towards the end of this inning. Lee, it's quite a battle we got here going on.
We certainly have, Eric, and they're threatening again, the Eagles, and they're looking to get that lead back. It remains at 2 apiece.
And this one just outside, full count. Lana Kaesler, full count, runner on second. She will be going. Faith Picard will get a good jump. A base hit, takes the lead.
Kaesler scoring a bunch of it, looking to slap.
And she swings hard at this one. This is high, over to left field. It's going foul, and it's off the fence. That was absolute mashed potatoes right off the wall, but just foul. Oh my goodness.
1.5 meter foul there, Lee. There are 2 meter panels out there in the outfield fence. And that landed just foul. And Kaesler, we spoke about her power before. Spacequake Sports are bringing you this coverage, but it's statewide super that are bringing the special comments with Lee Hull.
Well, you've said it exactly as it was, James. That goes over the fence. We've got a different complexion on the game.
And a swing and a miss. So close to the big shot. And it's the big strikeout from Gabby Snyder. Gets the big gun out from West Torrens. We head to the bottom of the 5th, and we're still tied.
It's a cruel game. One pitch, you hit the ball to the fence and it just goes foul. The very next pitch, you strike out swinging and the runner is stranded on second.
And we'll keep Lee Hole in here with the statewide super special comments, as we will between every inning here. Gabby Snyder looks set to lead it off here. Lee, what a game we're having here. Can you believe this?
Well, we've seen everything except a home run, one over the fence. It came very close. James said it was about 1.5 meters wide, and that's all it was, because it was travelling a rate of knots.
So as those outs become less and less before the end of the game, do you tense up at all?
You probably do, but what are they going to do with Gabby Snyder leading off here? Are they going to pass her up?
What would you do?
Well, I'm thinking I'll give her perhaps one look at it, and then I might pass her up.
James?
Because we're getting 2/3 of the way through.
Lead off batter, you've got to take your chance, I think, and try and get her out. It's the game's not like it's tight. I mean, it's not like you're chasing runs at all, but you're trying to defend hard. You wouldn't want to put yourself behind the 8 ball, and by putting a runner on base.
Gabby Snyder steps up here. And she swings at the first pitch, and you see how high this eye is in the sky. Burridge moves over, and makes the catch. Now I'm going to mention this. It's unlikely because they have been getting on base, but that could possibly be the final at-bat for Gabby Snyder if the next 8 are retired here.
Yeah, Scott's got to retire the next 8 in concession as well, consecutive outs made. So you're right, it could be unlikely, considering that it's a 7-inning game, and as Lee said before the game, his prediction was a tiebreaker or a few extra innings, so I'm sure we'll see her again this game.
Well, James, take us through. We are in the 5th. We're in the late stages of the game, so let's just put it in people's mind here because the hits are going to become more and more important. What are the tiebreaker rules?
Tiebreaker rules in softball, from the top of the 8th inning, you start with a runner on second base. As easy as that, no outs, runner starts at second base, tiebreaker rule in effect.
Desi Gia Morales, another there's just such class everywhere you look. Sound like a broken record. Opportunity to start to drive them around.
That's what you expect, though, for a grand final team, though. I mean, you're not carrying any players when you make a grand final. I mean, you don't finish top for a reason. 1 point separated these two teams on the ladder.
And Desi walked earlier, and she swings at this one, and this is going to find a sneaky little hole in the infield, and she gets on base. Lee Ho was just writing a message to me saying she's due for a hit, and Lee Ho, you're absolutely right. We'll bring you back in here on the Statewide Super Special Comments. Lee, I hate to say you called it, but you did call it, Mr. Lee Ho.
You never know your luck in the big city. But it was a good hit. She was due. That's what I wrote. Desi is due, and guess what? She produced. So now they've got to go from here.
A runner on, and someone that's had a great game so far, Sophie Roberts.
Yeah, she smashed that ball to the fence. Is that an RBI shot as well?
No, but it put her on base with 2 outs. It was a 2-out hit, and Alana Dales with 2 outs tied the ball game. Looking like bunt, though. Small ball.
Yeah, also with 1 out as well. Now, I've had a couple of conversations about bunting with 1 out. Because that does put all your eggs into one basket, doesn't it? You get 1 chance to score after that.
And a bunt down the line. Nucky throw to first and does exactly just that. So it's actually a mirror image of the inning that we just saw West Torrens. 1 out. They put down the bunt. They put a runner in scoring position for somebody that's had a pretty good game so far. But it's not. Alana Dales was batting before. But we have a substitution player. So who's batting? But Karen Dale.
Karen Dale. And have a look at this, the ultimate respect paid for Karen Dale.
Wow.
She hasn't seen a pitch in the batter's box, and Coach Gooley puts her on. He can sense the importance of the game. He can see that the next batter up is Erin Reid. Lee Hull, statewide super special comments.
Well, he's done that for a reason. I don't think it's because it's Karen Dale. He's given himself now 3 options to get an out, whereas he had 1 before.
So interesting to see different
right.
points of view. It does put the force on. However, that's his one and only intentional walk that he gets for the game. Okay, so should it go to the bottom of the 7th.
Or extras.
Or extra innings, and there's a runner on base with Gabby Snyder, you don't have that option anymore.
But, I mean, Karen Dale, just a legend of the game here as well, too, as this is chopped over. So sure-handed. Kelsey Nucky steps on the bag. You can't hit it over there. You're not going to get a hit.
No, you're not going to get it past Kelsey Nucky, not the way the form she's in at the moment. We're going to go to classic catches in just a moment. I just want to comment on it's paid off for Dave Gooley. Dave Gooley's call to put the runner on has paid off. However, time will tell if it was at the right time or not.
Well, let's have a look at the classic catches once again. You can head to the Softball SA Facebook page, and here you go once again. Vicky McFarland takes this catch, makes the catch to end the game and end an over-year-long drought.
600 days.
Since between wins, here's another hit. Oh, well, it should have been a hit, but Jess Neves lays out. How did she catch this ball?
It was a massive dive to the glove side. And
off that woman.
Off that woman there, Gabby Snyder. It was one of those catches where you've just got to go for it. That's it. There's nothing else you can do. Just have a dive for it and chance your luck, throw the glove at it, and that's where it's stuck.
I asked Jess about that catch, and she said that she was as shocked as anyone she made it, and all she was doing is exactly what you said. She saw a hard hit ball, and she thought, yeah, may as well just dive and see what happens, and what happened might be the catch of the year. We'll find out.
Number 5 hitter up to bat for the West Torrens Eagles. It's Carly Allen. We're now down to 6 outs apiece. It is 2-all
Wow.
at the top of the 6th. We're in the 17-18 grand final.
And here's a hit over, and it gets through. Look at that. Carly Allen comes through with a leadoff hit to right field.
Timeout called. Expect a pinch runner immediately. Lead off, single. Carly Allen, absolutely clutch. She has been the standout catcher for the season for mine. She coming in. Is that Amy Wheeler, Lee? I'm just, my views blocked.
Yes, it is, James. Amy Wheeler.
Amy Wheeler in the game. Does Wheeler have wheels?
Well, she's in the state under 17 team, and she is an up-and-coming star of this West Torrens club. Expect to see her name in lights in the years to come. Emma Burridge up to bat.
Emma Burridge, she reached on the air earlier.
Look, I just want to touch on the class of Carly Allen and the season that she's had. 400 batting average, 623 on base, 585 slugging. Among the team leaders in RBIs, in hits.
And she's going to lay down the bunt down the line. Interesting call there.
Well, sacrifice bunt attempt, and to be expected, because like I said at the start of the game, runs are going to be at a premium. So what they're trying to do is advance this runner into scoring position. 2 chances for the bottom of the order to try and score that runner. Will we see Wheeler take off?
And this ball just gets away. Wheeler's going to go in scoring position with no outs. A wild pitch has the Eagles threatening.
Well, unbelievable. Dave Gooley's job was done for him there. He wanted to put a bunt on Emma Burridge. She's one of the class hitters of the team. Now he can just let her go. She had to swing away anyway with 2 strikes. Let's see if she can capitalize on this opportunity.
And she swings at this one right away. Got her inside just a bit. Pressure moment here for the Walkerville Cats. Trying to defend and keep that run off the board. It was a 6th inning run that Walkerville scored in the first final to win 3-2. Can West Torrens do it in this one?
Great eyes from Emma Burridge. Can they do it? Time will tell. They're 6, 7, 8 in the order right now. But importantly, it's batters of Burridge and Scott's capabilities. They could score here.
Just fouls this one off. This one's heading over towards the baseball field going there. We just heard a big roar. Action happening in the Division I Grand Final at Baseball SA. I think we just had a home run over there. You know, it was a 2-0 game earlier, Goodwood and Port. But it's a 2-2 game here, top of the 6th inning. Emma Burridge swings at this one again and cranks off the foul pole. Are these just her just batting away to stay alive?
Well, this is classic Emma Burridge. She is a right side hitter, prolific right side hitter as well. So anything on the outside, you know she's got the capabilities to drive it opposite field. But if you get it on the inside, she can pull it as well.
And she's going right side again. This is in the air. Is it playable? And just out of the reach of Karen Dale. So the battle continues with a runner on second.
What an epic game to be played live on free-to-air TV. The first time that softball has been played live on free-to-air TV in South Australia. Thank you for watching.
And this is hit over towards Sophie King. Throw over to third, throw across the diamond. You have to be careful with that one. If that gets away, that scores a run. But it was scooped up there by Sophie Roberts. But a runner stands on third. Dave Gooley will be quite happy with that, I'm sure, because all Maddie Scott needs to do is just have a bit of an outfield out.
1 out, 2 batters have an opportunity to score this run now and take the lead. Wild pitch, we just saw it. It grounded to the infield. Anything to the right side should score. Amy Wheeler took off perfectly there on the throw. Let's cross over to Lee Hull. Statewide super special. Comments?
Yes, there was an interesting throw from Karen Dale then across the diamond. One bounce. Perhaps she could take one of the bounces out of it.
But the
like
backup from Bianca
That was
Ramsey, there wouldn't have been the run scored
That's
on
right.
that throw.
Yeah, that's right. So no harm done. But Amy, like you said, James, Amy Wheeler played it very smartly.
Amy Wheeler represents the go-ahead run. Could it be the possible winning run this late in the game? We're in the dying moments of the season, the grand final, and Maddie Scott, the starting pitcher, she can help her case right here on the mound by driving in a run.
It's going to be very interesting to see how the votes go for the player of the final. There hasn't been a standout so far. They've all been very great contributors.
And Scott puts this in the air. It's caught, and the runner's safe back there. What happened there, James?
Well, I just finished what I was saying. It could be the person that brings in the go-ahead run, because that becomes the key play, the key run, the run that wins the game. What's happened there is that they tried to do a bit of a squeeze bunt play. You saw that Amy Wheeler took off, but the ball just was too high, and she popped it up straight to Sophie Robertson third. Great coverage here from Spacequake Sports, bringing you that replay. Another timeout called from Dave Gooley. He's already had his one conference with his player, so he doesn't get an opportunity to speak directly to the batter here. Statewide super special comments from Lee Hull. What's Damien McCauley saying to Dave Gooley here?
Well, I don't know what David Gooley's saying to Damien McCauley, actually, so I'm just guessing. But who knows with Dave? He's coming over to have a little word here, I think.
It's getting a bit more heated as it goes along,
yes,
too.
I think you might be correct here, James, because Damien's trying to stop him from walking this way. But, no.
I'm trying to listen in here what they're saying.
Well, he'll have to make a change if he does.
So there will be a change.
Catch a speeder. So 2 out. Carly Allen was the batter that led off the inning with a single. Brings in a pinch runner, and now he gets the opportunity to make a change. It is the catch a speed up rule that's in effect now.
And we saw that the other day, didn't we? The same sort of thing happened with Carly Allen. So he knows what he's talking about, the man.
Well, the explanation to me was that the catcher needed to be re-entered into the game and then be in the game for one pitch. So Walkerville have an argument here. If they come out here and make an argument, and need to make it right now though, otherwise they miss an opportunity.
So Alicia marching to the plate, James. She was my X-Factor pick at the beginning of the game for West Torrens. She has a chance with 2 outs to make a possible championship winning difference. Doesn't get much bigger than that. You can see the encouragement from around the girls.
Why would she be your X factor? Because she's a lesser known player? Because she's
8th in the lineup. Got some behind there, some great defense. And it's never, well, it's not never, but a lot of the times in these championship winning games, it's easy to pick the Lana Kaislers and the Jordan Lamberts to make the pick. But why not Alicia Marchink at the bottom of the lineup with 8? Just how there was a couple key hits from people like Alana Dales and Michaela Robinson. Same sort of thing right here.
Yep. 2 out, runner on third. It's a 2-2 count. It's a 2-all game. Alicia Marchink needs to put this ball into play, find a gap for the Eagles.
Big opportunity. Here's the pitch. She swings at that one, chops off of her leg. She'll come up sore after that, but she stays alive.
It might sting immediately, but it doesn't hurt so much straight away. The bruise will probably come up a little later in the night. Snyder into emotion here, outside edge. Trying to frame that one was Robinson. See her twist that glove to try and capture that outside edge, but it was taken in the left-handed batter's box. So
you see the big laugh and exhale there from Alicia as well too. Full count, doesn't get better. She swings at this one. It's bobbled, and a run scores. Alicia Marchink delivers the run. Lana Kaisler touches home, and the Eagles are up 3-2 late.
You said it, Eric. You said it. The X Factor. The X Factor is getting the ball into play. And we spoke about doing the basics rush. Actually, to Desi's credit, she got a bad hop on that one. Lana Kaisler crosses the plate, and she is pumped, Lee. Statewide super special comments.
Well, are they going to live to regret that, James? She did get a bad hop, and with a runner at third, it can only mean one thing, the lead run in the game.
Well, don't count out the Cats just yet. This one's grounded out back to Snyder for the third out of the inning. I was just about to say that the top of their order is just around the corner. Where are they starting this inning? The 8-hitter Bianca Ramsey. So even if it's a 3-up, 3-down inning, they still have an opportunity. King, Robinson. Look how pumped Kaisler is there. She crossed the plate. Yes, she says Alicia Marchenk. Yes is right. So 8-9 hitters, which guarantees King, Robinson, Snyder, and G. Morales a turn at bat left in this game.
Well, we'll keep Lee holding here for the statewide special comments, but before we do that here, let's just say that Bianca Ramsey and Michaela Robinson had back-to-back doubles with 2 outs to score the first run of the game, so they are dangerous.
They certainly are, and this is the time for them to do something again. One of those two get on, we're at the top of the lineup.
Well, we are at the business end of the game here, and let's also bring in this scenario where if Walkerville score 2 runs, that means that we're facing a do-or-die top of the 7th for West Torrens. We've entered that scenario. Walkerville, with a couple swings of the bat, can go up 4-3. I don't want to say easily, but this lineup has shown the power to put up not just 2 runs in an inning, but 8 or 9.
Ramsey attacking on the first pitch there, fouling it off. Well, you mentioned the Eagles, how they can put some runs on the board. It's the top of their order coming into the top of the 7th. So Jordan Lambert will lead things off for the Eagles in the 7th. So let's see how Ramsey goes here. She's behind the count early.
She scored the first run of the game. She's been, with a capital I, impressive today.
Yeah, you can tell, sometimes you can tell how much of an impact a player's had when you look at their uniform. Look at that, the front of her uniform's all dirty. That was from when she dove in head first to get safe at second. And that ended up being that first run that Walkerville scored for the game. Fouling another one off, she still has a 2-strike count. Maddie Scott will be looking to get this ball out of the strike zone, getting her to chase a bad pitch.
And a swing and a miss. Maddie Scott gets a big leadoff strikeout there. Just relieves some of the pressure, just the tiniest bit. Only her 2nd strikeout of the game, Maddie Scott, but it brings up Michaela Robinson, who's been a very tough out today.
Michaela Robinson has been a woman on a mission tonight. Everything that she's done so far has been spot on. Attempting the running bunt there. Call from the West Torrens dugout was a big no from Coach Gooley. That one fouled straight back to the catcher, Carly Allen. The West Torrens Eagles are all on their toes. They were all ready for it, almost expecting it.
Well,
fouling that one off.
Chopped foul once again.
She'll go behind in the count with 2 strikes, and just another time where this 9 batter is such an important out. 2 strikes on the batter. If they can get this runner on base, the Walkerville Cats, they're still alive. One of their 9 lives.
Well, what a great game it's been. If you are just joining us, Walkerville went behind early 2-0, and this is hit hard. Michaela Robinson having one of the games of her season. She's 2 for 3. She's driven in a run, and she represents the tying run on base.
Well, that now puts a job in Sophie King's
she's 3 for 3.
Right now, she's 3 for 3, and Coach Tomlinson would probably know that, but now she's got a job to do, and that is to advance this runner for Chelsea Robinson right here and right now. So we might not see hit here, although she's got 3 hits for the game.
And she's got wheels as well. She's got an infield single already today. James, here's an interesting thing here. Walkerville scored 2 runs, and the top 4 in the lineup have produced, but there have actually been no runs scored by the top 4 here in the Walkerville lineup. It's all been in the bottom half.
It takes a full team effort to win a grand final here, Eric. 9 players on a team.
And this one just pitched out a little bit. West Torrens went up 2-0 in the first inning. They had a big first inning. 2 times in the second and third inning, Walkerville were thrown out at the plate, including one with bases loaded, 2 out, and a potential, probably the favorite to win the best and fairest tomorrow at the Dish, and Gabby Snyder. And but Walkerville kept grinding away. The bottom of the lineup got it done, and it set it up with a 2-2 game. Alicia Marchink with the RBI to make it 3-2 in the top part of the 6th, and here we are, bottom of the 6th inning in a 7-inning game. West Torrens lead 3-2, and they are now just 5 outs away, but they're going to be the most difficult 5 outs of the season.
Yeah, it's been a while for the Eagles as well. Some of these players...
And this is bunted down, and this bounces right back up on Sophie King's face. She's tough, though.
Yeah, she's a tough little unit, this one here, Sophie King. She'll just take a moment to regather her thoughts there. I was just going to say, I'm not sure that any of these players, perhaps Carly Allen, the only current player in the West Torrens lineup that played in their last premiership in 2010.
It'd be pretty close, but Sophie King was around for the last premiership for the Walkerville Cats, and she can play a big part in it here. And this is hit hard. It's to the outfield, and it is taken by Jackie Beal. The runner retreats.
She got a good read on it as well, because the panic went through the crowd. There was a bit of a shock and an awe through the crowd, but she got a good read on it. She saw it. She just had to back a couple of steps to get this one, but a great shot from Sophie King. Just nearly broke the game open. 2 out now, runner still on first.
Chelsea Robinson. She has got on base once already today. She had a hard hit ball earlier that was just absolutely robbed by Lana Kaesler at third. There's been probably 3 or 4 standout defensive plays that Kaesler grabbed to end the inning and save possibly a run. In the 4th has to be one, and then the 2 plays at the plate. And this is hit hard. This time to Lambert. Underhand to second. A very smart play. It ends the inning, and it's a 3-2 game heading to possibly the final inning of softball this season. We'll bring in Lee Hull once again for the statewide super special comments.
Well, the replay's the catch from Jackie Beal, but the play just then from Lambert, she didn't risk the throw over to first base. She had plenty of time to play the lead runner, but you just touched on Lana Kaesler so far. I've had to think about it. She's my player of the game. How many defensive plays has she come up with tonight? Not only the line drive catches, the throw on the sacrifice bunt earlier in the game. She was the run that crossed the place, albeit a courtesy runner for Carly Allen, but she still touched home plate. Lee?
Well, we're at the top of the 7th, and what's going to happen here, do you think? If the Eagles get another run here, that's going to make it really, really difficult. The Cats shut them down here without any score, and then they get their last chance. But Jackie Beal, hats off to Jackie Beal. She's taken a couple of terrific catches out there this evening and saved a lot of damage.
Well, it is Jordan Lambert, the game's original leadoff Aussie Spirit player.
4th time through the lineup.
4th time through the lineup as well. She has got the speed and the ability. You get a leadoff runner on here, every opportunity to score it, and just put that little bit of insurance on the board.
Well, James, another question for you. Will this be the final inning pitched in a fantastic career of this woman right here, Gabby Snyder?
Well, you never know. It's she's first up to bat next inning, and anything can happen with her in the box. So don't put it past them. Look at Lambert getting aggressive now. So earlier in the game, we made comment of how patient they were. They wanted to see a lot of pitches. Now their aggression continues. 4th time through the lineup. She went at one of those ones just a little bit above the belt. Last turn at bat as well that she hit foul.
She plays on Team Australia. Jordan Lambert, she's trying to get sneaky here, and she got sneaky. Jordan Lambert does what Jordan Lambert does and reaches on a little secret infield bunt.
Well, big cut at the pitch prior to it, and it went foul, and then bang, straight back onto it. This is class from Lambert, executing a running bunt perfectly. Karen Dale just hit that ball too fast. She hit it hard. The ball had a little bit of momentum. Another bunt. It's a sacrifice bunt this time. Karen Dale makes the great play. The out is made, but the runner is now on second base. Scoring position for Nucky, for Kaesler, for Allen. West Torrens in the driver's seat right here.
Well, Jordan Lambert's got wheels at second. She's on Team Australia for a reason. Kelsey Nucky one of the best players in this competition, a premier first base woman in this game. She struck out today. She's bunted as well. She does whatever it does for the team as Lambert slides back in there. She has a chance to add some insurance here with Lana Kaesler standing on deck.
Great block and defensive play there from Chelsea Robinson. She got over the ball there to ensure the ball didn't go through her legs into the back net. Lambert slipped as she saw that she had control of the ball, and
she takes a shot, and that could score a run. Lambert being sent around, play at the plate, and she's safe. The throw back to second, and she's gonna be called out at second, but the West Torrens Eagles have some insurance. They've got a 2-run lead.
The speed of Lambert was just a little too much for him. Unfortunately for King, it's just tipped her glove, took the momentum off the ball, and so Reed had to hit that ball hard running. She came up with a good throw. Gooley's winding her through. She slides on the outside edge.
Oh,
what a great play.
The hand, look at this.
What a great play from Chelsea Robinson. Look at the West Torrens bench. Get up for what a perfect throw from Reed. Robinson had the frame of mind as well to come up with the play at second base. So Gia Morales
I'd love to see the replay again there, that one from behind the shot, because you can see that the hand, it was the hand of Jordan Lambert that just reached around there, and could that be the championship hand? It was a fantastic throw. That was an amazing, it was well defended by Robinson too. That's just best on best. That's what you love in a grand final, James.
Yeah. So we've got this replay again, thanks to Spacequake Sports. Lee, we might get you in here for a statewide super special comment. How close was that?
It was touch and go again, James. We've had 3 of them, haven't we?
And 2 of them, they've all gone in West Torrens' favor. 1 safe when they're running and 2 outs. Kaesler to the right.
Lana Kaesler, she swung at that first one. It was a change up. She was going for the glory, wasn't she? So it's a 1-1 count. Top of the 7th, the Eagles are up by 2, 4-2.
And she swings at that again, going for the glory again. It's a 1-2 count.
Look, I don't have the scores from the previous games. I'm looking for 4 runs is enough to win every game that they've played so far. 3-2 victory, 5-1 victory, 2-all draw, 3-1 victory, 3-2 victory, 4 runs can win it. That's what they're on right now.
Well, it's another ball here, so it is a 2-2 count, I believe. 4-2 ball game. Lana Kaesler, she can go over the fence in a night like tonight. Watches this outside. It's a full count.
That's the 3rd change-up of this turn at bat. Lee's nodding his head. Full count on Lana Kaesler with 2 out. There's no one on. This isn't going to be a change-up. This one's going to be hard, and this one is going to be up.
And Lana crunches that one. That would have killed someone. And she puts it to dead man's alley over there. If the ball goes in that corner, it's usually a double or a triple. And Kaesler's got some wheels about her. She is an athlete.
I'm a little lost for words at the moment. It is the top of the 7th in the last game of the season. And it's coming down to the wire. We're at the top of the 7th. West Torrens with a 2-run advantage. Walkerville going to have to double their score.
And a swing and a miss. She strikes out for the 2nd time today. It's 5 strikeouts on the day now for Gabby Snyder. Well, we'll bring in Lee Ho once again for your special comments brought to you by Statewide Super. The Eagles are 3 outs away.
Yes, and that extra one is insurance here. What I was going to say was Gabby Snyder struck out Lana Kaesler. Terrific batter like that. She struck out in the last 2 times. But notwithstanding that, they have a lead of 2 runs.
Well, you see,
Cats have got to do something here.
See on screen just a moment there, Dave Gooley having a word to his young pitcher, 17 years old, going head-to-head against probably the favorite tomorrow night in the best and fairest vote. It could go a couple ways, but Maddie Scott, you can almost taste it now, can't you?
Yeah, it's close. It's close here when you've got 3 outs and defending 2 runs. It's you've got a little bit to play with. I was just having a look at your score sheet there, Eric, just looking for the players who have had the biggest impact in this game, because you're going to speak to our player of the game, the statewide super player of the game, as soon as this game is finished, it is spread out. Lambert scored 2 runs. We've got a couple of plays. Nucky's scored a run.
Kaysler
Came up with that
defensively.
RBI. Kaysler defensively, but
Well, what
let's
about
not
Carly
forget.
Allen at the plate? Twice
Clutch.
made big plays.
Yeah.
And she scored a run with a hit as well. There's a few candidates in here, but let's just see how this goes. First pitch swing, it's in the air. Nucky going back. Oh, she was just short. Gabby Snyder in what very well could be her last at-bat, swaying on the first pitch here.
Just had a rush of blood as well, so swinging at another high pitch. So she's obviously looking for that pitch to drive it long to the right field fence. Behind in the count though now, and Allen setting up way outside. The danger in that is that Snyder is an expert at going opposite field.
Well, bottom of the 7th. It is the last chance to dance for the Walkerville Cats. Snyder swings hard at this one, and she's aboard. The Cats have life, and the tying run will come to the plate.
Well, she's pulled that one, ripped it hard down to the right side, but the outfield, again, pretty deep and only a single. So really not too much damage from what you can expect from potentially the best player in the competition, arguably one of the best of the year, that is for sure.
Desi Gia Morales steps in. She had a base hit the last time she's up. She's 1 for 2 in the game and reached twice.
Now, Snyder hasn't had many stolen bases this season, but her college stats say otherwise. She's got wheels. It is the bottom of the 7th. You leave nothing behind now. Will she steal?
She looked like she was taking a jump, but do you want to test the arm of Carly Allen?
Well, I guess you're chasing 2, so, risking it for that 1 run's not really going to matter when you can try and get a cheap out like that from the field. So they might even be hoping that she steals.
Well, Desi Gia Morales, Sophie Roberts, and Karen Dale are coming to the plate. They're due up. They've got through the big 3 to start the lineup. There's still some tough ones there. Desi got it where she wanted, just a bit outside the zone, and it's a 2-2 count.
Well, Gia Morales is one of the team leaders in RBIs and walks. Only second to Gabby Snyder in RBIs, and that's no mean feat. 2-2 count. Runner on first will be eager to go here. Big jump expected.
Full count. Wow. West Torrens, Desi Gia Morales, the tying run at the plate. They can cut the lead in half by scoring Gabby Snyder, put it from 2-1 in a 4-2 game. Here's the pitch. She swings at this one again. Look out over towards the baseball field. And Gia Morales will settle in, and she'll take the 8th pitch of the at-bat. She battled her way last time to get on base. Can she do it again?
Gia Morales is a veteran of this game and of this team, this Walkerville team. Gets another walk.
Wow. So the tying run is on first. James, now it's time to say it. The championship winning run is at the plate.
Yeah, and it's young Sophie Roberts. She's already put 1 ball to the fence today. Can she emulate that? If she can get it to the fence here, probably will score the runner from first, tying the game.
You look back to when it was bases loaded, 2 out, and the pass ball play at the plate, how different this game would look right now if she wasn't called out. 4-2, no outs, runner on first and second. And she tried to lay down the bunt, gets the second strike.
Was that a running bunt attempt or a sacrifice bunt that she just left a little too late there? She needs to get out in front, even if it advertises the fact the sacrifice bunt in that situation needed to be put down to advance the runners.
Fancy stuff here from Sophie Roberts, and a throw back to second, so they get the first ball. The drama has unfolded here. The tying run aboard.
Great composure from young Roberts. Behind in the count, 2 strikes, and that pitch wasn't too far away. I've seen people swing it, pitches lower.
And she swings at that one, and that one is chopped foul.
Just really
What a
testing
crowd.
her range now. That one, the one prior was around ankle height. This one up at chest height here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And her role now is to get the ball into play to move these runners around.
Roberts, what a hit this would be. She's already scored today. She had a double. All with 2 outs, the hitting has come here. The 2 runs have been scored on back-to-back 2-out hits from Walkerville. No outs now, and it's a 2-2 count. Runner on first, runner on second.
Came back to the down ball there, bottom of the zone. 2-2 count for Sophie Roberts. She looks composed, young player.
Well, the outs get harder and harder when you get closer and closer to your goal.
That was very,
full
very
count.
close.
She's worked her way back from down 0-2 to 3-2. Could you imagine if she walks here?
The whole Eagles defense all dropped their heads all at once. They couldn't believe that one, but it was just out of the strike zone. Good call from Macaulay. It is a full count.
And a swing at this one. What an at-bat.
Well, just think of the scenarios here. If it's a walk, it'll load the bases.
She's the winning run would be on base if she walks. Wow.
Yeah, so Karen Dale on deck. She didn't start the game, but she came in, didn't get to face a pitch because she was intentionally walked.
And she swings at this one. This is hit hard to the outfield. This is back, and it drops. It drops. Here comes the runners. One scores, and it's a 4-3 game.
With the winning run on second.
Sophie Roberts, the young rising star with a crack of the bat, has put the Cats in a position to win.
Unbelievable play. We'll go to Lee, statewide super special comments, but young Sophie Roberts has just put her name up in lights for Mindley.
Exactly, and great chase by Alicia marching out there. Nearly got to it, nearly, but not quite. And that caused Gabby Snyder to cross the plate, make it 1 run the difference now, and 2 people in scoring position.
With no outs, the championship run is on second base, and Karen Dale comes to the plate. Could you imagine if Karen Dale delivers the winning hit?
Well, you never know in this game. She hasn't faced a pitch just yet, but she is a veteran of this game. I may even be corrected if I'm wrong, but out of the current players playing, she's the game's record holder in this whole entire competition, this whole entire association. So she's got experience here.
And she's going against the youngster Maddie Scott, runner on second and third. What a tight situation here for West Torrens. They just need to get that first out, don't they?
They're walking her. Carly Allen stood up, an outside
wow.
pitch. And look at Sophie Roberts as well, just watching for location here.
They are intentionally walking Karen Dale. So it'll be bases loaded, no out. Aaron Reed will come to the plate, but what this does do is it does open up the force out, so they can throw it home.
And that's exactly what they're trying to do. If there's no point trying to defend Karen Dale when if she represents a run, it doesn't actually count. It's the runner on second that they want to stop. Karen Dale's come to this game, intentionally walked once on the intentional walk rule, and then intentionally walked on a 4-ball walk the next turn at bat. Ultimate respect paid right there.
Well, we'll bring in Lee Ho with the statewide super special comments. Lee, bases loaded, and the game is on Aaron Reed's bat right here.
Certainly is, and I'm thinking that maybe a person like Sally Colquist may come and have a hit in this innings. I may be wrong, but we'll see. But
well, the bottom of the lineup has been very good, Lee.
Yep, it has. But
Aaron Reed.
Got a game to win there.
Bases loaded, no out. She swings at the first pitch. It's in foul territory. Nucky was running for that one.
Why not go at the first pitch? There's none out. It's loaded bases. You get a good one first up. You can be the hero.
The winning run on second base.
Don't forget, Desi G. Morella still has to score first. Then it's Sophie Roberts.
And this is hit up the middle. Throw home. They get the force out. Throw to first.
Double play.
She's called safe. That is why you walk Karen Dale. Unbelievable. They get the force out at home. All the runners shift up.
Bang, bang play at first.
And a double play wins it.
Let's watch the replay here. Maddie Scott, all the pressure there. Looked like Carly was just taking it too casually there, but the out was made. 1 out. Bianca Ramsey up to bat.
And Ramsey
And
swings
this
at
one.
this one. It gets to the outfield. It scores run, and the runner is held up at third.
Bianca Ramsey's done it again. She's come up with a great shot to the left side. It's gone straight over Lana Kayser's head to score the tying run. It is 4-all. It is 1 out, and the winning runner is on third base. Let's go to Lee Hull statewide super special comments.
Oh, fantastic from Bianca, wasn't it? Just straight over the top of Lana's head. The terrific player that she is, Lana Kayser, could do nothing about that. Was struck well, and it was struck
And
high.
Michaela Robinson swings at this one. Throw home. They get the force out. That could have been the winning run.
Talk about clutch. This time defensively, Kelsey Nucky coolers a cucumber, takes the ground ball, fires it across to home for the second out. We've now got a force on for the leadoff hitter for Walkerville. Sophie King up to bat, 2 outs.
2 outs. Bases loaded. Sophie King, a base hit, can win it. And it goes outside. What a ball game. You couldn't ask for a bigger treat. It's a 1-0 count.
1 ball on Sophie King.
Here's the pitch. And it goes out quickly to Lee Ho with the statewide super special comments.
Well, just quickly, Eric, the last time Walkerville won the grand final, it was Sophie King's hit. Scored the winning run.
Sophie King, can she do it again? Here's the pitch. She swings at this one. It's to Lambert. Throw to first. She got her, and we're going to extras.
Well, you called it, Lee. You called it. Extra innings. We go. It's 4-all. How about that 7th inning from the Walkerville Cats? 2 runs scored to tie it up. And it was not your number 1, 2, 3, or 4 hitters that did the job. This whole Cats team has contributed the entire game. We're going into extra innings. Lee Hull statewide super special comments.
I have no comment to make, James, except you're correct.
Well, can we just recap what on earth just happened there? Think about this. It was bases loaded with nobody outs in a 4-3 game, and somehow they held them just to 1 run. That's impressive in itself.
It was 2 runs. That shot there scored 1 of them. Unreal. What a game. Bianca Ramsey
The
coming
game of
up
the
with
season.
a shot.
Game of
for
the
her.
season.
Yeah. Well, we're at the 5-hitter for West Torrens. We're at the 2-hitter for Walkerville, and the difference being you've got Lana Kayser running for the West Torrens Eagles. It'll be Sophie King running for the Walkerville Cats. You know, I'm not sure you'd want anyone else running for Walkerville. And Lana, she's no slouch. She's in the state team for a reason. She's got plenty of stolen bases. She's got stolen bases this year. She won't be stealing this time. It's 7 stolen bases for the year. So she's got some wheels as well.
This will go down in history as one of the greatest softball SA grand finals, surely. It is the game of the season without question this year, and it's brought to you on free-to-air TV. We are in extra innings. Carly Allen will lead it off, and it's a 4-4 game.
It's been the best game of the year, Eric. No question about it.
Stuff of legendary proportions. Allen, sneaky bunt. Dale moves in, and what that does is we just need to mention here, as we said before, there's a runner that starts on second base. So the runner will move over to third. So that's all she was trying to do, is get that runner now just so close to scoring a run.
Yeah,
Emma Burridge, can she deliver the run?
One of your biggest hitters in the team has to lay down the sacrifice bunt to do the team thing, advance the runner to third, and give the next 2 batters the opportunity to try and score this run. The outfielder in.
And Burridge drops down the bunt again, and they score a run!
And the throw's gone wild.
Away. Burridge gets to second. She's pushing for third. She slides in there.
No slide needed. It was a wild throw. The squeeze bunt attempt. You needed to be right on your game there. Dave Gooley has called a dozen of those this year easily. Emma Burridge executes the inside pitch, scores the run. Roberts had no choice but to try and make the play at first.
The barehanded play. It was a perfect bunt. It was a perfect bunt. Unbelievable. See how pumped Kaesler is once again? You do not want to mess with her. How intense is she?
Wow, was going home on that one, and if Emma Burridge had not executed that, she would have been stone cold out in no man's land.
Just
Now it's
one
Maddie
out.
Scott. Oh, they were trying it again. Back to back. Statewide super special comments. Lee Hull, you are known as the coach that's never lost a tiebreaker. What are you doing now with only one out? Your next run is on third.
I'm getting that second runner on this.
And a play over to third, and they got a runner in the rundown. And this one, down low, can they get her? They're still going, Back to Karen Gale. They're gonna try to get her out. They dive and they get her. Oh my goodness, a cat and mouse game of epic proportions. Right as Lee's asking what they're gonna do, she's gonna be caught in the rundown, and that is a crucial out.
2 attempts at a bunt there from Scott. She's just gotten away from it this one here. The throw, the rundown play just probably went a couple extra throws. Karen Dale went for the tag that first one, but she was able to run her down, chase her down. Emma Burridge was just out of breath. She'd just run 3 bases on that overthrow. Now she was running a shuttle run just there. Just checking the count now.
Lee Hull in with special comments here, brought to you by Statewide Super.
Give David Gourley, the coach of the West Torrens Eagles side, full credit for that. He looked like he was going to squeeze the game, and nothing ventured, nothing gained. In this situation, but now there's 2 out.
He plays a high-risk, high-reward game, does Gourley.
And Scott swings at that one. It's a big strikeout. So we're going to head to the bottom of the 8th inning. A chance again for the Cats to win it. They'll start with a runner on second. So object number 1, score it and extend the game. Lee Hull, for some reason, predicted 3 extra innings, which is just ridiculous. But that's the first one. And then the next goal is score that winning run. Chelsea Robinson will lead it off, and Sophie King, I'm guessing, will be on second base. Back to their special comments, brought to you by Statewide Super, Lee Hull.
Thank you, Eric. And I tell you what, there's danger now, because look at the people. First 2 hitters, King, Robinson, followed by Snyder. I tell you, there's some pace there.
Yeah, this is massive. Like, I just love this grand final. The 2 best teams of the year. It's the very first time of the season that we've brought you a game between Walkerville and West Torrens on Spacequake Sports, and it's the grand final. This has been amazing. It's lived up to all expectations. And right now, Maddie Scott was the final out of that inning. She just needs to regain her composure a little bit, because she's got a bigger job to do than that last turn at bat, and that is to defend this run that they have scored.
Yeah, she just wipes that out of her brain and just concentrates on the 3 batters she sees.
Wow, what a game. There's not much to sum this up. An instant classic, 5-4. West Torrens win up 2-0. Walkerville clawed it back to tie it at 2. West Torrens were winning 4-2, heading into the bottom of the 7th, and Walkerville, with bases loaded, tied it at 4. West Torrens have a 5-4 lead in the 8th, and there's a runner on second and Sophie King. Chelsea Robinson will show bunt here. They're going to throw it back to second. Robinson, it's an interesting one. Do you let her swing, knowing that she's one of the elite bats in the competition, or do you just bunt it along?
All right, well, you got to make her bunt, because you've got to bring this runner around.
And she lays down the bunt, but there's a strike.
I just want to comment on what the defense for West Torrens is doing. That was obviously a set play to try to pick the runner off at second, because Emma Burridge broke for 2. Jordan Lambert, who was at shortstop, broke for 3, and it was actually Faith Picard at right field that was covering first base, because Kelsey Nucky was down for the bunt.
And she lays down the bunt.
That's a great
And it's
bunt.
picked up. Throw over to first. They get the out. So the runner advances to third, and Gabby Snyder has a chance to drive in the tying run. As we said, that's object number 1. Extend the game. Force it to a 9th inning. 1 out, though.
Now, here's your big dilemma for Dave Gourley, who loves to put a runner on base. However, if he puts this runner on base, it's the game-winning run.
And it's Gabby Snyder up here. Now, how about this, though, and especially for young Maddie Scott, we don't often see pitchers go past 4 or 5 innings in a 90-minute time game. They're now into inning number 8, and we're now over hour 2 in this game, and will they just intentionally walk Gabby Snyder, you think?
Well, she's been chasing these high pitches early in the count, haven't they?
That's a championship run, keep in mind, too.
Well, that's the point I was just trying to make,
right.
is that you don't want to walk her, because now anything can happen in the field, and she could probably score on an error or a big shot from Desi Giamarellis. Great hitter, RBI hitter as well, and then Sophie Roberts, who's already hit 2 doubles.
She might
tonight.
be the player of the game today, Sophie Roberts. She's got 2 runs scored and 2 doubles.
1-1 count on Snyder. She's only been struck out twice this season.
Well, she is the favorite heading into tomorrow night's best and fairest, and she could deliver a big hit here, this one outside, but Maddie Scott naturally being very, very careful with her.
The infield playing tight on Snyder here, not because she's not a power hitter, but because they're trying to defend this run at third. If they get a ground ball here, they will be checking that runner at third. They don't want the tying run to cross the plate, but the outfield is deep. So a little chinker here will score a run and give her extra bases, but they walk her.
So that is the winning run on first base. Desi Giamarellis comes up here. Now, once again, James, could they walk Desi Giamarellis and put the force out at any play?
Probably not. 1-3 split is probably playing to the batting team's favour, particularly when you've got the mind of Sue Tomlinson at the helm. Now, Dave Gooley is, like I said, high risk, high reward. So he'll probably try a set play here, get the ball out of the strike zone, that way that they can't reach it, and that takes the bunt out of play here, because all the fielders will be in position for that set play. Bunt goes down, they're in no man's land. All right, that's going to score the run and put the runners on first and second.
What a moment. Desi Giamarellis, a big double would win the game. You also have to watch that steal. There's so much just to watch in here. Everything going through the mind, all at this final moment. See a few people coming from the baseball game over to watch this. A few Goodwood supporters who are watching their team in a grand final are now have their eyes glued to this game. It's just an enthralling contest.
It's unbelievable. The nerves are setting in all over the place here.
And there's a pitch throw over to second. It's going to be cut off. And they tried the double steal there, but now the runner's at second. Now maybe you consider the walk.
Probably.
Maybe.
With two balls on the batter. Runners on second and third.
The championship run in scoring position.
Well, and she's got to throw 3 out of the next 5 in the strike zone, so you think that it's a hitter's count.
Yep.
She was so careful on that one just then.
So
well,
it should be a walk. It should be walking. The bases loaded again. Desi Giamarellis will walk this in, and for the second straight inning, bases are loaded with 1 out. And Sophie Roberts, who has 2 doubles in this game, she's scored 2 runs, a premier under 15 and under 17-year-old player, can send the Cats to premiership glory.
She's been one of the players of the game so far. Very patiently watches that one through for a strike.
Called strike.
Is seeing them like a watermelon tonight. She's been hammering the ball to the fence.
What a game she's had, and she swings at that one, but she's down to 2 strikes now.
She's got a good pitch to go after there. Very similar to the first pitch that she faced. Matt perhaps a little lower, and for a cricketer, that's right where you want him.
Roberts. Can the youngster play the hero? Outside, 1-2 count.
Great pitch on a 1-2 or on an 0-2 count. That one puts it to a 1-2 count, and still ahead of the count, but you don't want to take any risks here. Get the ball out of the strike zone.
And she swings at this one. It's grounded. It's bobbled. Throw to first. She's safe at first, and the tying run has scored.
Won't be able to walk Carindale now. She's going to have to swing at a pitch here. Intentional walk both times that she's been up to bat. Just a little bobble, but that was one of those tough ones. The runner was always going, so you're in 2 minds. Do I play home on this slow roller, or do I try and make the force out?
And West Torrens have been so close just to banging down the door. A base hit or a deep fly ball would score it.
Wouldn't this be a fairy tale for Gabby Snyder? She's standing on third base as the game's winning run.
The only thing that you just hate to see is that you'd hate to see the walk there. It happened in a baseball game last night in extra innings with bases loaded. It was a walk to end the game. But hey, if you're Walkerville, you will take any way to score a run. A walk wins it. A deep fly ball wins it. A base hit wins it. Walkerville with the game on their bat, and it belongs to the most experienced player in softball SA history, Karen Dale. What a pressure moment here.
Maddie Scott has the pressure on.
Maddie Scott delivers the pitch and it goes down low. She has to throw a strike right here.
Statewide super special comments to Lee Hull.
Yes, I think Karen Dale with a 3-0 count here. Winning run on third in Gabby Snyder. She's going to shoulder arms and take at least.
This is her third turn at bat, Lee, and she's not
has to throw a strike, and she swings at that one. So Maddie Scott gets the strike in there. That's just all she has to do right now. She has to throw a strike, and she has to throw at least one of them, maybe two more. Has to throw it to extend this game.
Only one out as well, so all in the Cats' favor.
And she swings at this one. It's hit in the outfield. It is in foul territory. It is caught.
What? She caught it in foul territory.
It is now. Cats have won. Gabby Snyder touches home, and the Walkerville Cats are your 2017-18 premiers. Karen Dale with a sacrifice fly to right field. And the Cats win a thriller in unbelievable scenes.
Unreal. Karen Dale fouls this one. I think the inexperience of the right fielder should have left that one. Gabby Snyder crosses the plate to win the game for the Cats. Walkerville are A-grade premiers. We are live on Spacequake Sports, Channel 44. Thank you for bringing us your broadcast. I'm not sure how long they're going to be staying with us, but stick around on Spacequake Sports because we're going to present to you the presentations and the post-game interview with the statewide super player of the game. So if that is all for our Channel 4 viewers, thank you very much. Walkerville Cats are your 2017-18 premiers. Lee Hull's joining me on the mic for the wrap. Eric Bolner's going to go and grab the player of the game. And we think that is Sophie Roberts. 2 doubles. She came up clutch. Unbelievable game. Wow, the Walkerville Cats, Lee. What are your thoughts?
Fantastic, wasn't it? It was a brilliant end to the brilliant game, but unfortunately, Faith Pickard takes the Cats deep in foul territory. Gabby Snyder's going to walk home from that position at third base as the runner, and that is the winning run.
Well, let's talk about Walkerville. They were down 2-0, they fought back. They were down 4-2, they fought back. They were down 5-4, and they won it 6-5, Lee, in extra innings. What an unreal game, what fight that they showed.
They certainly did, and no discredit to West Torrens Eagles. They set the running, they got the 2 early runs, and went along, and they could match Walkerville with everything they did, the Cats. So they'll be very disappointed, but that's how it goes. We play one tiebreaker, so tells you what sort of game it was.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
And when there's a winner, there's got to be a loser. And unfortunately, tonight it was the West Torrens Eagles. We're going to go over to Eric Bolner. He's got our player of the game, the statewide super player of the game. It is Sophie Roberts. He's just having a word. We're going to go over to Eric Bolner with the statewide super player of the game, Sophie Roberts.
And I'm here on the field now with Sophie Roberts, the statewide super player of the game. Sophie, you're still sweating, you're smiling. What a game. Have you ever been in a game in your young career like the one we just saw tonight?
Probably not. It's definitely going to be a first of, I believe, many. but I'm definitely happy that my first one's come out with a win.
We were just talking before. Were you nervous at all in this game?
Not really. I got rid of all my nerves from before the game as I'd rushed over here, but during the game, especially with the closeness and how they scored two pretty early in the innings and on a couple of my errors, but I was just happy that I was able to overthink that and get with the bat and be able to score the team and get us on board.
And you're such a young player. You've played on some state teams before, but talk us through the moments here, because it was all 2-out hitting, and you got it started twice there with a couple big doubles, and whether you're scoring runs yourself or driving them in or what you did in the extra innings. What's your approach at the plate in these moments?
Nothing much. I've always found that our team, not just me, we've always been really good when there's been 2 out, because we know that the pressure's on and we know that we just got to make contact with the ball and everything else will fall into place.
And tell me about the Walkerville Cats team standing there beside you. What a year you guys had.
Oh, definitely. We started off a little bit shaky with the first game, but we were able to come together. We were really a team and be able to pull through one of the best wins I've ever been in.
And Sophie, a lot of people are watching right now. We'll give you an opportunity if there's anything you want to say to anybody watching at home or about the season in general.
I just want to first thank to my parents for being able to drive me down here for Wednesday nights, for Tuesday nights, and for the games on Saturdays. I want to thank my friends in the cricket team who have been watching me after our grand final this morning, and I'm really happy that they were cheering me on. To West Torrens, they've been a tough team this whole year, and I'm just really happy that these last 2 important games we were able to overcome it and get on top of them and be able to win the game.
What a fantastic interview here. Thank you very much, Sophie Roberts, our statewide super player of the game on the premiership-winning Walkerville Cats. Back to you, James and Lee.
Thanks very much, Eric, and congratulations to Sophie Roberts and the Walkerville Cats. Sophie Roberts, our statewide super player of the game. Let's look at her chart there, Lee. She hit 2 doubles. She got on from that little hit that she hit to Emma Burridge at second base, which scored the tying run, and gave the Walkerville Cats that extra opportunity to win the game, and it was a Karen Dale sacrifice fly in foul territory, Lee.
Yes, it was, James, and an unusual finish to the game, one might say. Some of the players that impressed me, though, Sophie King at the top of the order, terrific batting, 3 safe hits. Gabby Snyder, we mentioned before. I was really impressed with Bianca Ramsey. 2 safe hits, looked the part, and interesting enough for me there was not one batter went down looking in the entire game.
Well, that shows the class of the 2 lineups, Lee, and just a fantastic game. We went extra innings. It went down to a sacrifice fly to win the game, and we just love that in our sport, that you can sacrifice yourself for the betterment of the team, and that's what this game is all about, and that's the way that the Walkerville Cats played the entire season. So congratulations to them. We're going to head over to the on-field presentations very soon, but Eric Balnar is going to join you back to go through the presentations and talk with Lee as we see some of the Walkerville supporters getting on the diamond to support, and he's just heading off now, Lee, so he's not back now. But what about West Torrens? I mean, they basically never trailed in the game. They didn't trail in the game at all, and it took the very last play of the game. There's going to be some heavy hearts over on the West Torrens side of the dugout. Eric Balnar joins back. We're just mentioning that each game has a winner, but there's also a loser, and West Torrens had some great performances. They didn't trail in the game until the very last pitch.
Just such a shame that there had to be a loser in that game, because it really was a heavyweight fight, just as we expected. You know, one team punches, the other one punches back, and they traded shots all the way right into the end. You see all the hugs. Just an unbelievable, what a game. I can't believe this. We've been calling so many games, and that's what happened. Just a fantastic thing to see. Lee, in the grand finals have you seen one quite like this?
No, I don't think so. It just had everything, but like you say, Eric, when you have a game like that, there's 2 teams come to play, and they both did, and it was a fantastic game. As good a game as we've seen for the entire season. So full credit to all the participants.
Well, it was a heck of a season. Walkerville really took flight when Gabby Snyder, that woman right there, playing in one of her final games, possibly her final game. We're going to bring you the medal presentation. I think we'll just mainly have a lot of ground, Mike, in that, but just still trying to get over what we had witnessed here today. You heard Sophie Roberts in the interview say, I think this is going to be the first of many. And I love the confidence. Sophie played in grand final earlier today. Under 15 and under 17 state player was the statewide super player of the game. Can you believe it?
I can believe it because I saw it, Eric. And that was as simple
how well
as that.
spoken was she as well,
yes,
too?
She was. Yeah, she's a quality player and a quality person. So those two things together, you've got half a chance in this sport or any sport.
So they're moving, you're seeing Greg out there on field as the Cats settle in.
Hello, ladies and gents. Hey, welcome to our
Alice Prokopek also out there,
Thank you, everyone.
working in the softball office. What a great season. We, as Greg's on the field there, just taking us through it now. I don't know how much you can hear.
Someone's going to come second, but everyone, give a round of applause for the
Talking about
Eagles, because it's pushing
the great fight that we just saw, and a nice round of applause for the Eagles, who had a great year.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks to the umpires, Damien, Neville and Mike, for coming out here and doing the game. Gentlemen agree that it was a great game and it was well fought. There was extra innings, so you can't get much better than that. So we'll start off with, we get into it by going with the player of the match.
Well, the player of the match about to be awarded.
3 from 5. Took 2 great defensive catches. That's in your there. Yes, she was at second base for the Cats. Sophie King.
Well, Sophie King, a very well-deserved MVP given here. She won the MVP the last time that they won the grand final. We made our statewide super Sophie Roberts, but we were debating between Sophie King as well because she had 3 hits. She's a veteran player. She had that catch that might have saved the run earlier in the game. James, thoughts on the pick?
The 2 Sophies, both outstanding players for the Cats, and there's no question about it. The umpires have chosen well with their selection of Sophie King. Sue Tomlinson now just having a bit of a chat and commending the Eagles on their performance.
And a fantastic year, they'll commend that. With that, I'll just quickly leave you gentlemen with the rest of the broadcast. Thank you very much, the whole softball community, for having me on, and enjoy the medal presentation.
Thanks very much, Eric Boner, the voice of Softball SA this year. He did as many games as any of us, Lee, and he called a great season. So thanks very much to Eric, and for giving up his time. He did it for nothing as a volunteer, as we all do, and we thank him for that.
He's a great fella and he's a great commentator.
Yeah. Bianca Ramsey just receiving her medal now, and didn't she have a game as well? So
she was most impressive.
The young brigade for the Walkerville Cats just got the job done, didn't they? That's the Softball SA chairman, Yubi Fadul, presenting the medals.
Well, Adelaide, this is his first year, first season as the chairman. Took over from Steve Trzynski.
7 years of service by Steve Trzynski, now Yubi Fadul. He is ably being supported there by the Adelaide competition chair in Eric Bonar and Softball SA events coordinator Alice Prokopek. Hayley Benaithan, there's the hard luck story of the season, isn't it? Like, she just had such a amazing season. Hayley Benaithan, just to go down with an injury before the eve of the finals and missed out.
I tell you what, she'll be back though. You can bet on that.
Adelaide has not only contributed to the game tonight, but to our club as a whole. She's been an outstanding individual.
Just speaking of Gabby Snyder now, she's the last player that they're calling up. Here she comes now. She gets a massive round of applause. Look at that massive smile, Lee.
Terrific. I tell you what, Walkerville had some terrific import pitches, haven't they? They really have.
I'm sure Chelsea Cohen has watched some of this broadcast. She's in Zimbabwe right now on a tour with one of our old friends, Krista Lee Maroney. They just happened to bump into each other.
Oh, okay.
And she gave a bit of a shout out. Andy Collett now receiving a medal as well, assistant coach.
I remember coaching Andy Collett when she was a young person at Port Adelaide.
medals there, and now we'll get Chairman.
Now the presentation of the Premiership Shield.
Shield to the winning team, which is the Walkerville Cats.
So the captains come up to receive the shield. It's Sophie Roberts and Chelsea Robinson, who will raise the shield for the first time since 2011. It's the Walkerville Cats' 13th premiership in their history.
Not unlucky for some.
And Chelsea Robinson's just going to say a few words.
Obviously winning's important, but I just wanted a good game, and that was awesome. You guys really battled the whole game and made everyone the nerve. The whole crowd, everyone was involved. Thanks everyone for coming, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the game.
Fantastic victorious speech there from Chelsea Robinson. The Walkerville Cats will celebrate tonight, that is for sure, Lee, and they will be presented that shield again tomorrow night at the Adelaide competition and Softball SA awards and presentations night. It's a massive celebration to end the season, and wow, what a fitting end to the season. So many special thanks so far for this year, but mostly of all to Spacequake Sports, David Muggleton and his team. Thank you so much to all our viewers and supporters over the year. You watched us on YouTube, you watched us on Spacequake Sports Facebook page, you watched us on the Softball SA Facebook page, and the replays on Channel 44 on Friday nights. Today, a very special live broadcast. Thank you, Channel 44, for making us your first live sporting coverage and having our very first softball game live on free-to-air TV. Massive thank you to you, Lee Hull.
Thank you, James, and to you and to Eric. It's been a delight this year, and we saved the best game for last. And unusually, when a lot of grand finals are sort of decided early in the game, not this one, this went down the wire, and we were so privileged to do it. And I endorse what you said about Spacequake Sports. With David and his crew, they worked tirelessly throughout the season. We love doing this, and we look forward to many years, as you said, with them on board.
So that's it. That wraps up the 2017-18 season. Watch out for us on the Softball SA Facebook page. We will bring you some highlights packages, the top 10 plays of the year. That will be announced tomorrow night at the awards night. That's one to look out for. And hopefully there's some more action and replays throughout the off-season, but we look forward to bringing you live softball action again in the 2018-19 season. I'm going to sign off here. Thank you so much, Lee. Thank you, Eric Bolnar. Thank you to Spacequake Sports. And thank you to all the softball fans right around the world. Walkerville Cats, victors, your 2017-18 A-grade premiers. Thank you for watching.